It is the Blitz here on 94.1, a San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. A Friday afternoon in New Orleans for our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage. And, man, we've got a loaded show today.
Loaded show just like we've had every day, but a headliner today at 4:30. Will Anderson Jr. is coming on with us.
You know, we did a lot of Dallas Cowboys yesterday. And we heard from all of the Texans fans that listen, both of them, that wanted to hear a member of the Houston Texans. So we're doing that today. Now, Will Anderson is a stud, and he will join us at 4:30, amongst other great guests that we'll see today. Ran into Donovan McNabb last night at the cigar party. He's going to join us here in a bit. Great time last night at the cigar party.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible time at the cigar party. And then after the cigar party, the Dicka Jaws cigar party, we went to Frenchman Street and went to a couple of spots, listen to some music, have a drink or two, go to the next spot, listen to some music, have a drink or two, go to the next spot. And we ended up on Bourbon Street with the Brits, our friends from Talk Sport. And the Brits on Bourbon is a story in and of itself. But what happened to Joe Reinagle? What happened to Joe Reinagle on Bourbon Street? Mind you, this guy does not like this town. But Joe Reinagle had a moment last night.
I did. A great moment, and I've been telling everybody about it.
I think
everybody's pretty excited for me. We had a few drinks last night. I won't.
More than a few.
Okay, I won't lie. So I'm in the restroom of this particular bar. It was a great bar, good music. We were having a good time. So I go to the restroom. I do my business. And I'm washing my hands, and this big dude walks in, and I turn around. I said, "Damn, that's Jelly Roll." And it was Jelly Roll. And his bodyguard or whatever, his security guy, came and I left and I looked at the security guard while Jelly Roll was doing his business. And I said, "Dude, I'm not crazy. I just want to say hello.
I'm not crazy, but can I say hi to Jelly Roll?"
The guy said, "Okay." And there was nobody else there. I mean, granted, this was not a huge bathroom, right? It was kind of tiny.
So you assaulted Jelly Roll in the men's room.
A couple of urinals in a stall,
well,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was nothing fancy. So I just stood outside right there at the door, and he came out and shook his hand, said hello. I said, "Yeah, I like listening to you. I like what you're doing." And he said, "Well, thank you." And that was pretty much the end of it. But
we're going to see him tonight. You were trying to get backstage passes.
Well,
that didn't happen.
They haven't come in yet. I'm still waiting for those.
Yeah.
But he was a very nice guy for the brief, 20 seconds I talked to him. But it was like there's freaking Jelly Roll
in the men's room.
Yes, walking in.
Yeah. So that's the story at 2:04 p.m. on Friday afternoon.
Right.
At 1 whatever a.m. this morning when this happened. Now, Joe didn't take a picture with Jelly Roll.
No.
But I can vouch, Erica can vouch, other people there, Jelly Roll was in the bar that we were in. So it's not like Joe was hammered and saw a big dude with a tattoo and thought it was Jelly Roll.
Hey, tattoo.
Right?
This dude has tattoos everywhere.
Right. I mean, but I'm saying, like, we all saw Jelly. You're the only one of our group that peed next to the guy.
Well, I didn't pee next to the guy.
Well, all right, but I'm going back to the original story, right? The original story, you come out and you're like, "Dude, I just pissed on myself next to Jelly Roll in the men's room."
Well, I was excited. Obviously,
you were excited.
At that time, and
you were giddy, but you literally came out and said you peed on yourself while meeting Jelly Roll in the men's room.
Well, I probably would have. But the true story is,
air quotes,
I was
Mr. Stephen Jones.
I was washing my hands and saw a big fat guy walk behind me. And I turn around and say, "Hey, you're Jelly Roll." I think he knows that already,
he probably knows who he is.
I was helping him out.
Yeah, he knows who he is.
A very nice guy. And I stayed there to chat with him for, 15, 20 seconds.
Yeah. Fred on YouTube says, "Wonder if Jelly Roll washed his hands."
I know. I was just thinking that. It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter.
I mean,
he's Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
I mean, but they're tight now. He calls them Gel.
Or Roll. Either way. Yeah. Me and Roll are going to hang out tonight after the show.
Well, I mean, the fact that you're anti-peanut butter, so you just call them jelly.
Yeah.
That's probably why you like them.
Probably so.
Yeah.
But, I mean, how often does that happen to anybody? I mean, you're standing there minding your own business, doing your thing, and here comes Jelly Roll walking in.
We're not going to get into the other things that you said, that you kept saying. But
I don't know what those are, but I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, let's just say
it's a good thing your daughter's here and she knows the story firsthand, so you can't make anything up.
I wouldn't make anything up.
Yeah, you would.
I mean, dude, on the phone with your wife, on the phone with my wife, there was one thing you were bragging about quite a bit when it comes to jelly.
Well, I embellished a little.
So it's me that might be stretching the truth.
Well, I don't know the size of the man. I have no clue.
But last night you were like, right, beat up myself next to Jelly Roll, but I'm bigger.
Well, I mean, I would think. All right, I imagine. But yeah, that's you embellish stories like that a little bit, especially.
I mean,
when you're a little tipsy.
Yeah, little. Keyword. The idea that you met Jelly Roll last night.
Yeah.
And it was a hell of a night for us. I mean, just from the cigar party, which is always a lot of fun, although not near enough food, which probably added to we never had dinner.
No,
we barely had a snack. But there was plenty of
alcohol. Yes, there was plenty of that. The food was a little light, I will say that. And that's kind of been every event we've been to since we've been here in New Orleans for the Super Bowl. They just give you the little sample.
Yeah, you don't have. Yeah, we've had one sit down meal since we've been here.
Yes.
Everything else is just grazing.
So that was probably part of the problem last night, that there was not anything to soak up the excess alcohol. And it kind of went to my head. But I was sober enough that I knew Jelly Roll was in the bathroom.
And again, we all saw him, so we know.
Yeah,
he just didn't see somebody that might be looking similar.
I don't know that Jelly Roll has a doppelganger.
I imagine somebody out there.
You think so?
I mean, yeah. It's possible.
This guy.
You saw Jelly Roll. That's cool.
He's got a few tattoos.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
he does. And you were looking at him eye to eye, shaking his hand.
Exactly right. He was very kind. I mean, he's
a great dude.
Yeah,
a great dude. Great story. Great entertainer. I'm excited about seeing him tonight in concert with Chris Stapleton and Shabuzi. See, now Shabuzi might have been in the men's room and Joe wouldn't have known.
You're right. I would not have known. But I mean, so that's my my Super Bowl story du jour. It was a good night, and I'm a big fan of the guy. So I mean, that was kind of cool.
Absolutely.
But I mean, however you standing somewhere and a famous person walks in, I mean that doesn't happen every day.
Although you broke the golden rule.
What's that?
Don't bother a man while he's taking a leak.
I didn't bother him. I stood outside.
You're somewhere and somebody wants to say, hey, aren't you Joe Reinagle? Yeah, it's all cool unless you're standing at the urinal. Let the man pee in peace.
Well, I did. I didn't bother the man or look at him or talk to him while he's peeing.
Yeah.
He had a bodyguard.
Yeah,
right
exactly.
There.
Otherwise,
there's
a reason because he's been accosted in bathrooms before.
He had a big bodyguard there standing between us. So I waited outside. I wouldn't be surprised if he's there and he's telling us, dude, I saw Joe Reinagle in the bathroom last night.
That's exactly what
he's saying.
He is telling everybody.
He called his wife. He called his kids. I saw Joe Reinagle in the bathroom last night.
He probably tweeted that.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
Guy's thrilled.
That's comical.
Yes.
You know who's not thrilled? Darren Woodson, and therefore me.
That sucks.
Darren Woodson did not make the Hall of Fame last night, and we find out he actually knew when he was sitting with us yesterday.
We're talking about feeling like a donkey, right? I mean, if only we'd have known that to begin with.
We wouldn't have talked so much about good luck tonight, and you deserve to be in and should be in already, but tonight's your night. And he played it cool, but I guess that's part of the process. But you can't say because that's part of the deal. which kind of sucks. In this whole class, I'm not overly excited about the small Hall of Fame class, the smallest since 2005. 4 people get in: Antonio Gates, Eric Allen, Jared Allen, and Sterling Sharp. I'm looking at the list of the finalists, and I don't know. I mean, I look at a Luke Kuechly. Eli Manning doesn't get in. Obviously, I thought Darren Woodson would get in. I mean, it's hard to get a kicker in, but Adam Vinatieri, you just, I was bummed last night for Darren Woodson.
I was bummed for him too. And the other surprise was, I think, to a lot of people, maybe not everybody, but Josh Allen beats Lamar Jackson for MVP.
That does surprise me.
Yeah, it does, especially what was it, the AP award that went to Lamar and not Josh, and that's usually a precursor.
I would say voters must have gone the route, which I remember talking with Indy Kalu about it and other people, like, clearly Lamar, when he wins that award, should, but why would you vote Josh Allen over Lamar Jackson? And the Buffalo Bills had Josh Allen do more with less this year when you think about a couple of the receivers that he lost, and they put more on his shoulders, and he certainly delivered in the regular season. Excited that Josh Allen was able to win that award, but kind of surprising because I really thought it was going to Lamar Jackson, who, of all the MVPs that he's won, this was a better season. And, of course, he had a Derrick Henry, and they added for the first time, he's got a Pro Bowl wide receiver. So that counted against Lamar Jackson.
I guess so. I don't have a problem either way. If it would have gone to Lamar, no problem with that. Going to Josh, I've got no problem with that. Either one of those teams are screwed without their quarterback. Sure. I don't think there's any question about that. So, Josh Allen, congratulations. A consolation prize for not making it here to New Orleans this year. But MVP, and well-deserved. Good for him.
The Radio Row coverage continues here from New Orleans. Former Saints player. He played for a couple of teams, but made his bones here in New Orleans. Kyle Turley will join us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star.
Let's talk about Stevens Roofing first, though, because I love talking about Stevens Roofing. Family-owned company, local company, and they're just absolutely the best in the business. And when you have weather like we have in San Antonio and South Texas, you know what I'm talking about, the hot summers that we have, those thunderstorms that we have in the springtime, and then every now and then those freezing temperatures, they're certainly unpredictable. Stevens Roofing is a number you need to have handy because, look, Texas roofs are not designed for winter weather. When the ice and snow melt, that water seeps into the little cracks. Then it refreezes. That creates bigger cracks, and that can result in loose shingles and leaks that can damage your home. You need to call the professionals at Stevens Roofing. It's not time now to go up there and try and fix it yourself, right? Call the pros at Stevens Roofing. They'll come out. They'll give you a free roof inspection. All you have to do is pick up the phone and dial 210-785-0994. You can also visit them online at stevensroofing.net. Look, don't let Texas weather catch you off guard. Call Stevens Roofing. Your family needs that protection your roof provides. Stevens Roofing is there to make sure that you are always covered. Stevens Roofing, protecting Texas families one roof at a time. That phone number again, 210-785-0994.
From a fender bender to a total loss, Davis Law Firm has a team of expert attorneys ready to get you back on the road with the verdict or settlement you deserve. Y hablamos español. Want more? Call the Fours. Davis Law Firm, San Antonio, 444-4444.
The Blitz is going to Vegas. Come along for an unforgettable Mega March weekend at Circa Las Vegas, March 27th through the 30th for opening day and the second weekend of the tournament. Thursday, March 27th, celebrate the start of the baseball season and watch all the games at the world's largest sportsbook, plus the ultimate March Hoops experience. Take in the action in the 6 pools and the 143-foot screen at Stadium Swim. Book now and use promo code BLITZ at circalasvegas.com and join Jason and Joe show at Circa Resort and Casino.
Hey guys, Jason Minix here from the Blitz. Does it feel like you're lacking energy, always moody, or you know your libido isn't what it used to be? It could be caused by low testosterone. Go get tested. I recommend the providers at Synergenx Testosterone and Weight Loss. Their personalized TRT goes beyond standard treatments. They also have affordable GLP-1 weight loss options. And for current patients, Synergenx offers a $150 referral credit. Get started. Book your appointment at synergenxhealth.com. SYNERGENX health.com.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-2706. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-2706. That's 800-575-2706. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Your life, your goals, your legacy. With a dedicated Fidelity advisor, it's all part of a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Visit fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Take the guesswork out of buying and selling your home with Orchard. Hi, Jason Minix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Will your home sell in time? Which upgrades are worth it? Can you keep your home show ready with a busy life? Orchard has all the answers. With Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, you can buy your new home before selling your old one. It's simple. Orchard gives you an equity advance, unlocking cash to buy your new home first. That's right. You don't have to wait for your old place to sell. You can move in right away. And no more rushing out for showings or constant cleaning because Orchard sells your old home after you've settled into your new home. Orchard even handles repairs and improvements at no out-of-pocket cost to you. Their local pros know which upgrades bring you the most money, so you sell for top dollar. Buy before you sell and skip the selling hassles with Orchard. Start your free home valuation at orchard.com. That's orchard.com.
Rise it on!
It's the 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Big Game Giveaway.
You asked for it, you got it!
Predict the exact score of the big game in New Orleans, and you could score $50,000. Make your predictions now at sasportstar.com.
I like this kind of party!
The 50K Big Game Giveaway, brought to you by Detractor. Score big with Detractor and Seguin. And 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Live from New Orleans, it's the Blitz, broadcasting from the AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row ahead of Sunday's game. Here's Jason Minix and Joe Reinagle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back to the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage continues with Saints legend Kyle Turley. Every year on Radio Row, we see sometimes you have your guitar.
Yeah.
No guitar today?
No,
guitar
not this
today?
time, man.
No,
Maybe next time.
I've got a new record up going on the studio at the end of the month.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Are you
Just
really?
signed with
Yeah,
Label
yeah.
22.
Just signed with
It's
Label
a
22.
Better-based
It's a
label out of
better-based
Nashville.
label out of Nashville.
We're going to studio at the end of the month.
We're going to studio at the end of the month.
New sounds we come up with
and
down the
keep
road.
this thing moving
Dude,
down
that's
the
out
road.
now. Have you
Yeah.
written? That's out now. Have you
Yeah.
written songs already? Written the songs already?
ton of songs.
Yeah, well, sure. Yeah, well, sure.
We're
Yeah.
starting through all
So
right now, pre-production, and we'll get to that. And then the end of the month, we'll go in studio and cut about 6.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What was it? 2 years ago in LA, your band was playing at the cigar party, right? And you know, in New Orleans, all the music here. Man, all right, Kyle's going to show up with a guitar. With a guitar.
I wanted to. I wanted to. I was trying to get some gigs, man. Hook me up.
Well, because there's people like Jelly Roll in town.
I know.
I got odd question for you.
He sold a few more records.
He sold a few more records. Just a few, and we're going to see him tonight at the Madden party. Ryan Eagle saw him last night. In the men's room.
In the bathroom.
What?
In the bathroom.
As a famous dude. Isn't that supposed to be the one area where you don't get bothered? You don't get bothered?
Yeah, I don't know. Jelly's one of those guys. Jelly's one of those. He's such a humble dude. He's such a humble dude. He actually works out. He actually works out at this gym that I work at. It's just off the beaten path, a little hole in the wall. You never know where it's at. He's got a full boxing ring. He's training hard, man. Training hard. It's awesome.
That's also. They're making fun of me. They're making fun of me. Hell, if I saw Kyle Turley in the bathroom, hey, dude, I just saw Kyle Turley. Kyle Turley.
You can't pass that up. You can't pass that up.
I mean, one area, man. It's the one area, man.
I was in there first.
Hey, you take the risk. You take the risk. That's right. You know what? That's right. You know what? All right. Guys can say what's up to another dude. What's up to another in the restroom. You can say what's up. You can say what's up.
I've never seen him giddy. I'm like, dude, in the men's room. I mean, that's kind of the one area. Leave the man alone. Let him be in peace. Let him be in peace.
Water's cold, huh? Water's cold.
It's deep too. How's it feel to have this thing back? I mean, this is where it belongs.
Yeah, man. The Super Bowl New Orleans like no other. So convenient. It's so convenient. Like everything's right here. Usually, we're here, then we're here, down in Hollywood, Florida, you're in Miami, you're Miami, all these places, driving out to all. Everything's right here. Everybody's right here. Everybody's right here. It's awesome, man. New Orleans, it's awesome, man. New Orleans, right out the doors here. As soon as I'm done, I'm going to eat some amazing food. All the festivities and everything that are going on around here are just incredible because all the venues are just so awesome. I mean, the NFL honors last night was at the Sanger Theater. You can't get better than the Sanger Theater for award theater for any show. Period. For any show. Plays there to concerts. I did concerts. I did a thing there with Jay Moore. One year for the Super Bowl back in the day with Ralphie May. Everybody's here too. It's everybody's here too. It's New Orleans. A lot of celebrities already live here. Everybody comes to New Orleans. Everybody.
Kyle Turley here on the Blitz. You talk about that. You talk about that in the food. You probably from playing here know a lot of great restaurants that aren't. Is that what you've been hitting up, or because everything's right here? Because everything's right here, you're just going.
No. Gotta hit my old haunts. Gotta hit my old haunts. I was at Camellia Grill the other day. Special chili on the omelet. The chocolate freeze shake on the side. Amazing, man. Amazing. You can't beat the food here. You can't beat the food here. Oyster House. I'm planning on getting over to Emeralds at some point. Those are my guys. But just these iconic hole in the wall places. You can go to Cafe Du Monde and get all those beignets, and that's just iconic. And sit out there and listen to the jazz and all the street performers right at Jackson Square. It's just a special.
Are you kind of like the ambassador? Are you kind of like the ambassador? I mean, everybody look to you on where to go like that, on where to go.
All the time. Where should I go to New Orleans? Where should I 10 minutes? I'm like 10 minutes. I got a map. Here. Here's where you eat dinner. Here's where you eat breakfast. Here's where you eat lunch.
So where do we eat dinner tonight? We did Drago's. Oh, perfect. Which is perfect because the one downtown.
It's called Metri.
Metri.
Right.
Well, see, that's good though. You need to know that.
You need to know that.
Either way, Drago's. You
can't beat Dragos. Depends on what you want to have. You can get fancy if you want to go fancy. But you can keep it down under, man. Down under these spots around here. Surrey's up in Surrey's awesome place to go grab some brunch. To dinner. I mean, there's New Orleans Oyster House right there. Oyster House right there. But Acme Oyster House. And then there's Giacomo's. Yeah. And then steakhouses. I mean, Ruth Chris was born here. Ruth Chris was born here.
Really?
Ruth
Really?
Chris Steakhouse was here. Ruth Chris is from New Orleans. You can go to the first Ruth Chris. Empastados. I think is still around. All the amazing seafood out there by the lakefront. Oh man,
good stuff. Kyle Turley, you think about Kyle Turley. You think about the game. We saw this game 2 years ago. As a Cowboy fan, go Chiefs, right? But also, I want to see history.
Right.
Do you like that? I mean, I know there's Chiefs fatigue, but to see something that we've never seen in our lifetime, I always think that's cool when that happens.
Very cool. And, hopefully it'll get us start talking about Tom Brady, can just end that, right? And maybe we can then go into this new era with the Chiefs winning 3 in a row and move along from there to whoever the next team's going to be that will get that opportunity to keep that train rolling, man. I mean, the Chiefs are in such a comfortable position and a mindset, it seems. It's like they're just flowing. They're in this flow state, in the business I'm in cannabis. You talk about trying to incorporate this in sports and how you do this, and there's a true opportunity for you to get in this flow state where you're just mentally and physically in tune with everything, and that's just what it seems to be, man. I don't know if these guys are all listening to me or what.
Of course they are, right? Of course they are.
Hey, Andy Reid and Jim McMahon, they played college ball together, so hey, who knows?
Well, that's it. You mentioned the Power Plant Depot all the years on Radio Row. The cannabis, you were on the forefront of all this. I mean, it felt that way, at least with athletes and former players saying this is what we need to help recovery.
Oh, I was the first one here for a while, then everybody started having CBD companies, and then it evolved, and now we have all the opportunities and full opportunity hemp, which is what the question is out here is controlling that conversation. Rand Paul's producing the Hemp Act coming up. It's going to bump up to where every strain in this racist term marijuana becomes hemp. And so federal legalization is about to happen through the new Hemp Act. And it'll open every door. All the bars are switching to the THC drinks. You can go to pretty much any bar in America right now and grab a 5 milligrams, seltzer drink instead of a beer, which is going to give you that same equivalent of a libation as that, if not anything at all, because your cannabinoid system is how things operate. So, the education side of this is where I'm at and trying to apply this where people can use this in performance and recovery. I wanted to play 5-10 more years. All right. I didn't want to have all the surgeries that I got that I didn't need. I didn't need some of them. If I would have known what I know now, things would have been different. That's for sure. Longer career and unbelievable better transition after, the career. And that's what's most important. Our statistics in our community are very real, from all these diseases to divorces and everything else, that getting your mind right and getting your life back in order and having this purpose in this world and understanding who you are is paramount, for people to learn and find that out right now while they're playing, and they can now. NFL's bumped up level of THC to 350 nanograms, which means you can pretty much use as much as you want. And like I said, the hemp thing is going to put it all to bed.
Kyle Turley.
Outstanding.
Always great catching up, my friend. Radio Row's a blast.
Great to be with you always. Thank you guys so much.
Appreciate it. Kyle Turley here on the Blitz for our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage as we continue here in New Orleans. Luis Perez, a quarterback, has been in the NFL in all the different spring leagues, writing a new book. We'll talk to Luis coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro, especially if you need caps made. Sammy has over 25,000 caps on display in his showroom and more than 75 color combinations just waiting for your logo. And he's got all the popular cap brands like the Katie caps, the Richardson 112 style trucker caps, Nike, Cap America in stock. If you need t-shirts screen printed, go see Sam. Need your logo on a nice dress shirt, a polo, half zip, jacket, coat, you name it, Sam will get it done for you. Over 700 uniform lines to choose from. Nobody has better prices. Sammy has all the big name brands. No order too big, no order too small. So call Sammy's Embroidery and Printing, 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or go by that massive showroom on San Pedro, a mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website samsembroidery.com for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
The Morning Huddle.
This guy calling me a loser, the guy who couldn't get laid after he took his wife on a date to Lost Maples this weekend.
But see, I can get laid tonight, loser. I can go get some tonight.
Not if you watch the football game.
No.
Your wife's already mad today.
Oh, I'm going to watch the football game, then the Spurs.
I'm going to text her from the other room. You up?
Yeah.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings, 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Spring forward with real unlimited data from Straight Talk this tax season and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. So you can stream games during Mad March hours, check the weather for April showers, and watch gardening videos about May flowers. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 4/15/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires purchase of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
When it comes to sending last-minute Valentine's Day gifts, nobody delivers like Target Circle 360. Get the perfect surprise delivered right to their door with Target Circle 360's unlimited same-day delivery on orders over $35. Start with a dozen red roses, then choose from our delicious assortment of favorite day candy and more. Crush your Valentine's Day celebration by sending something to everyone on your list. Only at Target. Restrictions apply.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? HIMS can help. Get started at hims.com/joy. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a Colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149. Having a party for the big game? Let Smokey Mo's handle the barbecue. Go with the Big Game Rib Party Pack. 3 pounds of delicious Smokey Mo's slow smoke ribs plus sides. Or get the Tailgate Party Pack, a buffet in a box with brisket, turkey, sausage, and sides. Add in a Baker Bar Group Pack. The chopped baked potato bar is perfect for groups. Smokey Mo's is great Texas barbecue that will make your big game party super. Order online at SmokeyMo'sBBQ.com. Smokey Mo's, the pit is lit.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Emily Neal's 70-inch TV. Because after watching her second-grade students yell at each other for hours, there's nothing Emily enjoys more than watching super rich housewives also yell at each other. Why? Because those women are not her responsibility. And that's why her TV is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
This is exactly where we want to be.
Live from the AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row in New Orleans with coverage leading up to Sunday's big game. It's The Blitz with Jason Minix and Joe Reinagle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Road coverage brought to you by Flight by Yuengling, Circa Las Vegas, Synergenx Testosterone and Weight Loss, Smokey Mo's Barbecue, and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. Luis Perez joining us now. One of the great stories in quarterbacking and perseverance, especially with the spring leagues. Because I first met Luis at training camp with the Alliance of American Football when everybody had training camp in San Antonio, and you're still at it.
Still at it. Still grinding.
Still grinding. And still with Arlington, right?
Yes, sir.
So in a couple of months, we'll start hating you again.
That's right. Not me personally, right?
Well, I mean, it depends on if you beat the Brahmas or not. Part of it, but spring leagues, and you've played in all of them, it seems like, right? And you keep going to NFL training camps, and you're just always just this close. What's keeping that motivation to say, one day I'm actually going to get there?
I've knocked on the door every single year, and it's one of those things where I'm right there. Why would I quit? People's dreams and aspirations of playing in the NFL, I mean, you have that since you're a kid, right? And you have to go through so much to even get to the position I'm in today. And for me to be just in the NFL earlier this year, 6 months ago, why would I stop?
How difficult is it when you go to a training camp to compete and to be there and try and get that final roster spot, if you will?
Yeah, no, it's difficult. I mean, you're talking about the best in the world, right? So especially for me, you're coming from spring league, so my season ends mid-June. Now I have to get ready for training camp in July. We don't get signed until mid-July, right? So we have 3 weeks or probably less than that to prepare for a game. Different than if you go the traditional route where you have OTAs, phase 1, phase 2, training camp. And now you have all this time, especially like a quarterback. Like, you have to know the playbook. Like, you can't just go in there and, okay, here's the playbook, learn it, go play at your highest, level. That's really not how it works. That's not realistic, right? You have to learn the system, especially the type of player I am. I'm not going to be running around, making guys miss and get out of the pocket. Like, I'm a cerebral type guy. I have to know where everybody's at all times, understand the system, what coach is trying to get done, and that's how I become successful. So that's been the biggest challenge, is going in so late, having to cram a playbook, and then play my best in the preseason.
Luis, as we visit with Luis Perez here on the Blitz, we're Cowboy country. We're the Cowboys affiliate. Dak Prescott, they get rid of Mike McCarthy, they hire Brian Schottenheimer because they want the continuity. So he doesn't have to learn a whole new system. You've known like 87 different systems. Is there a system you don't know, or is it all the same and you just have to learn a new language?
Yeah, so I would say it's like a new language in a sense, because now there's like trees of offenses, right? And then everybody kind of creates their own off of a tree. So like the West Coast system, there's a digit system, there's a concept system, right? There's different types of systems, but everywhere you go, let's say I'm going to somewhere that has a concept system. Okay, well, maybe they call their concepts a little bit different, but I know the structure of how a play call is supposed to be called. So I have the foundation. It's just about studying, formations, names. Those could be a little bit different.
Let me ask you this, Luis, because your story fascinates me. Football's not the only sport you're good at. Oh, you're a bowler? That's correct, right? You started out as that?
That's correct. I was a professional bowler.
Professional bowler. So what was it about football that made you leave bowling?
Yeah, so as a kid, I always had a dream of playing the NFL. I was that kid that slept with a football, took it with me everywhere, in the stores. I mean, that was me, right? Then it was my dad's birthday one day, and we decided, hey, let's go bowling. So we went and fell in love with bowling and said, you know what? I'll put this football on the shelf for a second. And I bowled throughout high school. So I bowled all throughout high school, and this was the moment that changed my life. It was the last game, the last home game my senior year of high school, and I go, and all my buddies are on the team, and they ended up convincing me to go to the game. I wasn't going to go to the game. And I'm sitting in the stands, and I'm watching them all run through the tunnel, and I remember getting full-body chills, like, whoa, like, why am I in the stands? I need to be down there. And that was the moment I decided, you know what? Okay, bowling, take a back seat. Let me go back to pursuing this NFL dream.
I thought it was big money. The money's better in football than it is bowling.
That is true, too.
Although you're a pro athlete, and you're good at anything athletic, right? I mean,
I try. Whatever I do, I try to be the best that I can be.
And so you go, all right, let's go play football. You're at East Texas, right? In fact, some people are there, Commerce Lions. all that kind of stuff
Yep.
is in our YouTube chat right now, which is cool to see. And then, all right, NFL training camp doesn't work, go undrafted, you go to the spring leagues. And I say all the time, I wish there was a way you could take like QB3 or the practice squad quarterback and let them play, you know, on loan or however you want to call it. I've talked about it with Moose a lot of times, and there's reasons they haven't done it yet. But how much has your game improved by having the opportunity to get game reps in the spring leagues?
Tremendously. Like, as a quarterback, you can't emulate in-game live reps with bullets flying at you. You just can't, right? Especially like in practice. You get all these practice squad quarterbacks that are stuck on practice squad all year, but they don't get to develop, right? Because you can't get hit in practice, right? Because they don't want quarterbacks getting hurt. And then during the season, you're really watching film on the other team to prepare their number one defense. So you're doing a different cadence. You're doing a different drop. You're studying the other team's quarterback to help your own team, but you're not personally developing. So there's nothing like in-game reps. So I'm so grateful, Moose, like you said, all these different people that have put spring leagues in place, you know, to help me in my career.
Well, you know, it's interesting that you say that because Moose was on with us yesterday. I lose track of the days when we're out here, but he was on with us yesterday, and we were talking about the talent level in this particular league, and I hear that all the time. People go watch a game and they say, "Man, there's some really good football players out there." The competition is really good, isn't it?
Oh yeah, no, it's great. I mean, you got guys that played in the NFL that come down to us that don't have success, right? So that just tells you that it's not only the player, but it's the situation you're in as well. So again, all the spring league guys are just hopeful that when we jump to the NFL, that we land in the right system to be able to compete and really have a chance to make the team.
Well, in San Antonio, Kellen Mond is expected to be the starting quarterback, and I think he'd be a prime example. He went to high school in San Antonio, and of course A&M. NFL hasn't worked out for him yet. But I've said he just needs reps. If he wins the starting job, and no guarantee, but if he wins the starting job, I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up back at least in a NFL training camp.
100%. That's what it's about, right? The spring league is about just bridging to the NFL, right? And I think, again, Moose, all those guys do a phenomenal job with just every year they're just improving something and they're gathering more eyes from everyone. And now it's more welcoming for guys that are in the NFL. They're like, you know what? I'm not getting any film here. I'm stuck on practice squad. You know what? Let me just go down there and get some film. Hopeful they bet on themselves to go back to the NFL and make an active roster.
Luis, how is the coaching in the spring leagues? I mean, are these guys helping you out and teaching you things that you need to know?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, my head coach is Bob Stoops. I mean, Bob Stoops speaks for himself, right? I mean, national champion. I mean, that guy is the ultimate galvanizer of a team. I mean, he just knows what to say at the right moment. I mean, he's unbelievable. Human, player, and coach. Like he's unbelievable. Like I'm just so impressed with him. And Chuck Long, I work with him, you know, side by side. We game plan every week together. I mean, he was the runner-up to Heisman and Bo Jackson. I mean, these guys are legitimate coaches that have played in the NFL, that are transitioning to coaching, that are helping us out tremendously to develop.
You know, I was surprised as we visit with Luis Perez here on the Blitz when Bob Stoops joined the league. But also, you know, like Wade Phillips coaches in San Antonio. 2 years ago was Hines Ward. I think you worked with Hal Mummy, who was my high school coach up in Arlington the first year there. And coaches just want to coach, right? And I think Bob Stoops told that to us. He was like, you know, college coaching now? No. But this is still fun for him.
100%. He has a blast out there. I mean, he's awesome. He's hands-on. He wants to help. He's energetic. Again, he just knows how to galvanize a team and get everybody together. And he's a real advocate of good teams are run by coaches. Great teams are run by players. So he trusts all the leaders to kind of set the tone. And we know, like, hey, if we're not having a good practice, all the leaders will be like, you know what? Hey, start this up. We're doing it again. And, you know, he's an advocate for that. And not all coaches are like that. And I think he's helping us grow and develop as players and as leaders as well.
All right, Luis, I've got to ask you, how does it work? You're playing in the spring league. You have a pretty good season. Do you get a phone call from somebody in the NFL to say, hey, we'd like to invite you to training camp? How does that work?
Yeah, so usually as soon as you're done, there's kind of the timing of when we're done. There's usually like a dead period. That's when, you know, OTAs and mandatory minicamp usually ends. So there's about a 4 to 6 week kind of gap before training camp. So that's the time really where, you know, guys are getting tried out. Guys are getting called just to get signed or whatever the case may be. But that's really the time to where you get signed and you become a free agent the moment that you're done with the season.
Is there what's the word? Middle of the UFL season, you get a call, or whether you or your agent, however that works, an NFL team wants you for their OTAs or mini camps, and you're still in the UFL season. Do you stop that to go to the NFL, or do you wait and finish the season? I'm not sure how the contract works, but there's a handful of questions like that on YouTube.
Yeah. No, so you have to finish out the season before you can go anywhere.
So the NFL knows.
Correct.
You're not available until.
Correct.
So you're not forced to make a tough decision.
Correct.
If you had to.
See, me, when I invest in something, I don't like going one leg, one out, right? Like, I want to finish the job. And, like, I want to win a championship. Like, that's my goal. Everywhere I go, like, my eyes are set on winning a championship. And I would do a disservice to the league, to myself, to the team, if I just didn't stay.
So this dream, and I know you're writing a book about this too, your journey, but I don't know, do you ever see a point in time, and certainly not now, you're enthusiastic, obviously very passionate about what you're doing, but a time where you just say, man, it just didn't work out and I've got to go do something else?
Yeah, so I ask myself that question every year. I ask myself, do I enjoy getting up at 4 a.m, training, and doing all the things that it takes to be a champion? Yes. Am I still playing at a high level? Yes. Do I have any injuries that are not allowing me to do that? No. So why not? Why not keep playing, right? So that's my mindset that I ask myself every single year. And I just got done with the NFL. I just led the UFL in passing touchdowns, yards, completion percentage, completions. I mean, why would I stop when I'm right there close to my dream?
Well, that's it. And why would you want to go get a real job?
No.
What would that real job be?
I don't even know.
Probably a hell of a lot easier than what he's doing now.
All right. I'm gonna quiz you.
Go ahead.
Can you name all the teams that you have played for?
Oh yeah. So let's go Rams, 2018, 2019 Eagles, 2019 Detroit, 2019 Birmingham Iron, 2020 XFL Wildcats, 2020 New York Guardians, 2021 Spring League, 2022 USFL, 2022 Rams, 2023 XFL Vipers, 2023 XFL Renegades, UFL Renegades, Chargers, UFO.
Nice.
You only missed the New Jersey Generals.
Oh, golly.
Oh, and did you mention the New York Guardians?
I did, yeah.
You mentioned the Guardians.
Yeah.
How did I forget Mike Riley?
I was going to ask you the same thing.
How did I forget that?
And I'm trying to think. You mentioned another one. You said Wildcats.
Yeah, is that not on there?
That's not. Yeah.
Okay, I did play for the Wildcats.
Is that a real team? You're just making stuff up?
No. That's a real team. That's a real team. That's a real team.
Do you keep your jerseys in like a helmet from everywhere you go?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I have them all. A whole wall full of them.
Everywhere you go.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually stick somewhere so you can quit spending money in frames.
Right?
Yeah.
I know.
That's going to be crazy. When do you expect your book to be out?
So late March this year. It's going to be called The Spring King.
The Spring King.
Yeah, that's kind of a nickname that over the years just kind of built on me, and the internet started calling me, and I just embraced it.
Well, I mean, why not? You've played for every league and team, and so many you can't even name them all.
Correct. Yeah.
So this is just going to chronicle your journey as
for
you've
sure.
gone on? Okay.
So starting from as a kid, from my passion all the way until now. So yeah, it's almost done, and I'm really excited for it. I really think that my book is going to impact a lot of people, just from the adversity standpoint, right? I talk about like some of the things I wish I would have told my younger self of how to deal with adversity. Like, I'll give you something real quick. So like when I was younger in my career, right? Whenever I faced an obstacle, it was obstacle, then there was an emotion part, and then there was an action, right? You take action on the obstacle, right? So, and I would take that second phase, I would stay there too long in the emotional phase. I mean, why me? Why is this happening to me? God, and I just went down this rabbit hole that I was hard to get out of. And now, me being 30 years old, just like last year, 2 years ago, I decided, you know what, let me just eliminate this middle emotion part. And the moment I get an obstacle, I'm just going to turn the page. Okay, how am I going to fix it? How am I going to take action to that? So that's just some of the things I talk about in my book on how to deal with adversity.
Outstanding. That is awesome. Congratulations.
Yes.
And on the book, Good luck with that on the season, except when you're playing the San Antonio Brahmas. And Wade Phillips has already told us, I mean, everybody's going to pick them to finish last like last year, and they're going to win the championship this year.
I don't know about that one, but we'll see.
He's always very complimentary of you, though. I will say that. We have him on every Wednesday during the season, and when they're going to line up against you guys, very complimentary, and so we got to watch out for that guy.
Yeah, he's awesome. Me and Wade were together with the Rams, and we have a pretty good relationship, so a lot of respect for him.
I'm surprised you didn't end up in San Antonio.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows how the card played out?
Well, you never know.
That's how it goes. And again, you're a gun for hire, right? You got the arm. Somebody needs a quarterback. They're calling you.
I'm ready to go.
And always, the first one off the board. It's crazy how that works.
Nice.
Dude, it's great catching up with you, man. Have fun on Radio Row. I know you got a lot going on, and it was a good idea.
Yeah, no,
Come
appreciate
down
you guys
here and
having
do
me on.
that. Appreciate it. Luis Perez from the Arlington Renegades here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. As it happens on Radio Row, Leigh Steinberg schedule's changing. He's going to join us in about 10 minutes.
All right.
Coming up at 3 o'clock. So, between now and then, we mentioned it a little bit earlier, the Hall of Fame class, only 4 this year, which is a real surprise. One, that it's such a small class, but who didn't get in? That's what really surprised me.
It really surprised me, and I really am upset, hurt. I don't know what the word is. Disappointed, I guess, is the word I'm looking for with Darren Woodson. I really thought this was going to be his year, but I think the fact that Eric Allen got in might have hurt Darren Woodson. I don't know, and you look at those kind of things, but a small class, as you mentioned earlier, and so it is strange, the names that did not get in this year.
Well, and you look at first ballot times for next year. I mean, next year's class is going to be interesting with all the first ballot guys, and you wonder if some of the finalists will be finalists again next year, because you look at so many of the guys that you just think are shoe-ins. Now, you look at Antonio Gates getting in, not a surprise there, but Jason Witten's eligible next year.
Yeah.
Is he a first ballot Hall of Famer? Who knows? But you just look at next year's eligibility. I know there are a lot of guys like a Darren Woodson that are looking at what's coming up, and this was probably their best year to get in. And now you wonder if Darren Woodson is going to be like Drew Pearson and wait for seemingly ever for his chance at putting on that gold jacket.
Well, I hope not, because there was, that player was exciting to watch, Darren Woodson, very exciting, and I love the way he played the game, and so I hope it doesn't. And I know he told us yesterday how much that would mean to him and how special that would be, and so I really hope that he gets that call and gets that honor here in the near future.
Well, and you look at, what's the word? Guys like Eli Manning not getting in, and you could debate Eli Manning. He is a 2-time Super Bowl champion. So is Jim Plunkett. Eli had some really good years and some really bad years, but his name is also Manning.
Yeah.
And, he even said, he's fine that he didn't get in, but you wonder, and he could say he's happy for everybody. You expect him to say all the right things. And I think it was a surprise just because he's Eli Manning, he's Peyton's brother, that he didn't get in.
Absolutely. I'm shocked that he didn't get in. I mean, you could look at the guy's numbers, I guess, and try and figure out a reason why the Hall of Fame voters didn't put guys like Eli Manning in there or Darren Woodson. But I don't know. These are players that did some special things, and I just think that they deserve to be in. Unfortunately, you can't put everybody in, right? I mean, there are people that probably deserve. Tommy Novus, for goodness sake, is a guy that should be in the Hall of Fame that's not. And so I think, there are a lot of deserving players out there and that are on the outside looking in. It's tough.
Super Agent Leigh Steinberg will join us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star as we continue in New Orleans, our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage. It is a Friday. You have your weekend plans. I know none of you plan on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, you know the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, tell them no. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds. Whether you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
10-yard line. Touchdown, Vegas. What a wild finish.
Your home for the NFL.
Rox Discount Vitamins and More wants to thank God and San Antonio for making Rox the king of supplements. Are you losing weight, building muscle, or just getting healthy? Rox has you covered. Weight loss and muscle building packages starting at just $75. Plus, get a free in-body scan in 15 seconds with the In-Body 270 analysis. Start tracking your results today. The pros at Rox know their products, how they work, and what's best for your health and fitness goals. Call 210-342-7625 or visit roxdiscountvitamins.com.
Hi, welcome to Staples. Hi, I hear Staples can print it all for my business. Oh, if you can think it, Staples can print it and will beat any print quote. Oh, great. I'm thinking new brochures and yard signs. No problem. I'm thinking calendars, t-shirts, and pens. Totally. I'm thinking Staples is the place for printing. I thought you might think that.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
Wow! Most cars and pickup trucks can have a ceramic film installed by the experts at Mother's Window Tint starting at just $199. That's an incredible price. If you shop around, you'll find that competitors charge hundreds of dollars more. Plus, it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Mother's Window Tint offers up to 60 different film options to fit all price ranges. Since 1984, Mother's Window Tint has been known as the home of the tint and alarm special. If you're looking to enhance your vehicle security to the highest level, visit Mother's Window Tint today, where security systems start at just $399. Call us at 210-496-3454. That's 210-496-3454. Or visit us online at motherswindowtint.com. And remember, do it at Mothers and save!
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Individual results may vary. Consult a doctor prior to use.
You've lost so much weight. How'd you do it?
I got medical treatment for weight loss through Zelty and lost 50 pounds. I struggled for the longest time, but Zelty makes it easy and affordable to get weight loss treatment 100% online. Zelty providers can prescribe FDA-approved weight loss medications clinically shown to help people lose weight, like Wegovy, Zepbound, and others.
I've heard those medications can help you lose weight, but aren't they expensive?
Zelty can help get the medication covered by insurance, so it's as little as $0 a month.
What if you don't have insurance?
No problem. Zelty may be able to help you get other GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% off the price of name brand medications.
I'm ready to start losing weight. How do I get started with Zelty?
Just text.
Text THIN to 200-300 to get started today with Zelty and see if weight loss medications like Wegovy and Zepbound are right for you. Don't wait. Text now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text THIN to 200-300. That's THIN to 200-300. THIN to 200-300.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? I guarantee she does. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. If you're considering divorce, it's absolutely crucial to understand your options right now. Don't let alimony catch you off guard. Protect what you've built and secure your hard-earned assets. Visit TexasDivorce.com. At Barton & Associates, we focus on navigating the complexities of divorce law to ensure you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but you have a choice. Take control of the process or allow your spouse to dictate the terms. If you're serious about safeguarding what you have built and your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team for you. We'll act swiftly and decisively, ensuring that you're not taken advantage of. Call Barton & Associates at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the NFL handed out their last night. Of course, Josh Allen MVP. Saquon Barkley the Offensive Player of the Year award. Broncos quarterback Patrick Surtain won Defensive Player of the Year. James Daniels and Jared Verse took home Offensive and Defensive Rookie of the Year. And Joe Burrow won the Comeback Player of the Year.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
I like this kind of party. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage from New Orleans is brought to you in part by Flight by Yuengling, Circa Las Vegas, Smokey Mo's Barbecue, Synergenx Testosterone and Weight Loss, and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix as we continue with our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage from New Orleans with Super Agent Leigh Steinberg joining us. Leigh, how you doing, man? Hang on one second.
I remember that 52-17 game at the Rose Bowl, and it wouldn't have been 17 if Leon had not got the ball knocked out.
Leon let Don Beebe knocking the ball out of. I know, and you know it's been so long for the Cowboys to get one. We just have to continually go back. Forever and ever and ever, right? Damn near 30 years.
Hard to remember that they won 3 in 4 years.
I know it.
When you put in a VHS tape. You know, I mean, well, and look, you had Troy Aikman. You've had all the great quarterbacks. And maybe what we need to do, because, you know, with Patrick Mahomes, he's with Kansas City, but we need you to find another quarterback for the Cowboys.
I'm not sure Dak Prescott would appreciate that.
I mean, look, I like Dak. I mean, but at some point, he's got to win one.
Quarterback greatness is defined as the ability to take a team to and win the Super Bowl. And that's where the legacy comes. That's why Troy Aikman, for example, his average stats for a game would be like 17 for 23 for 210 yards, 2 touchdowns. But he's in the Hall of Fame. And the reason is because he wasn't dazzling statistically, but they won. And it was a team effort. So, yes, ultimately. But I know nobody's more frustrated than Jerry. And my experience with him is he would do anything to win.
Yeah, I think so. And he's even told us that many times, that he'd write a check as big as he had to write it to get a Super Bowl win. When you look at the game today, though, you're talking about the Cowboys of the 90s, but the game today has changed so much. The players have to be different, and quarterbacks in particular. They've got to be mobile. And it's more of a college system. You take that into consideration when you have a player you're representing and marketing them to a team.
I think the critical factor, every team that does not have a franchise quarterback wants one. And let's define that as someone you can win and build around because of for 10 to 12 years, but someone who most importantly in adversity, in critical moments, players throwing a couple interceptions, the crowd is booing, the center's looking at the quarterback like he's on hallucinogens. What does he do now? Can he compartmentalize, adopt a quiet mind, and elevate his level of play in those critical circumstances to take a team to victory? And that's the critical factor that you look for, because there will be adversity. I mean, the Chiefs this season are a perfect example of that. And at that last moment, when it's needed, they win.
What is it about Kansas City in one-score games?
I think they try really hard, but, you know, when you win that much, it's probably difficult to totally put a team away. And plus, they were work in progress throughout the season. They didn't have wide receivers. They got them back later. It's a different team today than it was in week 7.
Leigh, I've got to ask you because you're the man to ask. And we look at the salaries in the NFL today, and quarterbacks in particular, we'll stick with that. And it just goes up, and the next guy gets more than the next guy. So he's just next. It's what Jason's famous for saying. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I want to ask you, is that how you look at it? Say a Dak Prescott needs a new contract. Does he have to get more than, say, Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes?
Well, you distinguish the players. So let's say you're negotiating and Dak's contract's on the board. What you say is, my players made the Pro Bowl or gone to the playoffs. You try to find some mark of distinction that makes your client more valuable than Dak, and you use his numbers to negotiate the new contract. Just remember this. They're spending money they have, not that they don't have. In other words, TV contracts have soared to an unbelievable level, and it's really television revenue and the loss leader bidding nature of it, trying to build value for the bottom line of the network. And so in the midst of a cratered economy, a pandemic, CBS and Fox virtually doubled what they bid on the rights fees. And so you're going to have the same team that made $2 million when I started back in 1975 from national TV per season will soon make $300 million. So they have the money, and there's a revenue split. Remember, it's 53% for teams and 47% for players. They can only spend money that's coming in. So it's not as if there are any economic problems.
Leigh Steinberg joining us here on the Blitz. I know you don't represent Micah Parsons, so we can talk about him. Micah Parsons has said more than once that he will take less money. He doesn't have to be the highest paid guy, doesn't have to be the top guy, because he wants to make sure Jerry's got enough money to get some good teammates around him. This week he said that he would take far less. I don't know what far is, but if they to go get Myles Garrett. As an agent, when you hear a player say they will take less money, do you just start screaming at the television?
No, because you have to understand what each player's value system is. So it could be short-term economic gain. It could be long-term economic security. It could be winning. It could be getting to a Super Bowl. It could be profile. So you have to individually take each player's concept. Micah Parsons knows that were Dallas to make it to the Super Bowl, he would turn from a very good football player into a household name. So that you're individually representing a player for their point of view. And we're talking about less money when players say that. It's extraordinary money within everybody else's point of view. I mean, when Tom Brady used to take, quote, less money, yeah, he was only making $35 million a year.
Only 35.
I mean, he had a hard time paying the bills, I'm sure. Yeah, no doubt. You mentioned the NFL with the TV contracts, Leigh, and now they're going to play all over the world. Australia now, I guess Ireland they're going to go to as well next season. They're trying to expand their footprint, obviously, all over the world. The NFL's a monster, isn't it? And it just keeps growing.
So I want you to think about this. Not only is it the most popular sport, when 60 or 70 of the top rated 100 Nielsen shows are nighttime football, it's the most popular form of televised entertainment in the country, which never happened. We are in the midst of a massive pro football craze where it dominates the American landscape. And after that's college football. And so it's the once a week nature of it. It's the fact it has physical contact. It's the fact that it grew up along with television technology, so it's perfectly televised. It's a whole bunch of reasons, but you know, we're football crazy. It has the same power now that soccer does in most countries.
It's incredible. Lee, I think about your career as an agent. What have you negotiated? Over $4 billion worth of contracts, and now you get college kids with the NIL. How differently do you approach a college athlete versus an NFL athlete?
So NIL has changed everything, and it's the law of unintended consequences. What they were trying to do was get a few players who came from disadvantaged backgrounds a little more money because they couldn't work during the school year like their non-athletic peers. They would have been happy for $5,000 more. It gave them a little better apartment and everything like that. This system has morphed into a nightmare where there's free agency for high school players, and the certain select players are getting the benefit of business alum collectives. So when a player commits to LSU and he's going to get X millions of dollars, and along comes a Michigan alum and says, well, we can give you $14 million. It's creating a situation where it's recruiting for hire, it's free agency. The transfer portal means that the whole concept of being able to root for a football player for 3 or 4 years at a college gone, because they're going to switch the quarterbacks are playing musical chairs. And it means a 15-year-old is going to ask me to help him brand and do NILs. And I'm sorry, I'm not set up to our practice about role modeling, making a difference. It requires reasonably sophisticated, mature people. They're still growing when I talk to them at 21 or 22, but it changes everything. What you're going to have is 4 conferences dominate every other conference, and it's going to be the haves and have-nots, and it's going to affect women's sports and non-revenue sports. And those 4 top conferences will get rid of the NCAA. They'll negotiate their own contracts, and it'll have a diminishing effect on the rest of college athletic funding.
How do you fix something like that? Is the government going to have to get involved, you think?
I would think at some point, if they have jurisdiction, I'm not really clear, but if they can find a way to do it, they obviously federally fund the number of colleges, but it's completely out of control, and it's happened so fast. And the confluence of gambling, conference realignment, and NIL is like an explosion in what you and I grew up with as collegiate sports or professional sports.
Leigh Steinberg, super agent, joining us here on the Blitz. Your annual Super Bowl party, now at number 38.
38.
Yeah, 38th annual Super Bowl party happening on Saturday, but you've taken the party and really turned it into something a little bit more than just like, hey, let's get together and have a good party. It's, a lot of purpose, a lot of research, and a lot of awards.
So we're doing a brain health summit where we'll talk about breakthroughs in concussion and brain health. We have 2 different panels doing that. A couple weeks ago, I founded a concussion foundation, and to raise money and awareness, to fund research, to treat at-risk people. The good news is we found a couple breakthroughs in brain health. So through the theory of neuroplasticity, there's one process called RTMS, and there's another process called neurofeedback. And you can actually reconstruct part of the physical nature of the brain, and it's going to be exciting. We're also giving humanitarian awards, and Gail Benson's getting one from the Saints, and Sean Payton from Denver, and Nate Wiggins, a player from Baltimore, and Drew Brees is getting one. And we're raising money for the National Urban League, so we hope to move a family there, and we'll have we hope to move a family into the first home they'll ever own by giving it a down payment at the party. So, and then we do the Brain Body Lounge with hyperbaric oxygen. So it's fun. but we also do some educational things, and we also do some community and charitable things.
Awesome stuff. Leigh Steinberg, super agent. Always good catching up, my friend.
Thank you. We've done this for years.
Yes.
We've been doing it a long time.
Yeah.
A long time for sure. As we continue here on Radio Row, let's talk about those postseason awards. Saquon not getting the MVP. Josh Allen does. Lamar does. And more coming up here from New Orleans on Super Bowl Radio Row.
Yeah, I tell you what, if you're not going to Leigh Steinberg's party this weekend, I'm going to tell you where to go to watch the Super Bowl. The Golf Club of Texas. You might not have been thinking about the Golf Club of Texas as your Super Bowl watching headquarters, but it certainly is. They're going to have specials out there, food specials, drink specials, all of that stuff. Plus, look, the 10 Cup restaurant is the best. It really is the best, and the food is fantastic. You go out there, you eat, you drink, you enjoy the Super Bowl. You're going to have a great time. While you're at it, check out the golf course, too. They have done so much work on the golf course. It is incredible. Brand new golf cart paths, sod everywhere. This place looks like a country club, but it's not. It is open to the public 7 days a week, and it's fantastic. Great place. Make your plans, though, to head out there on Sunday and check out the Super Bowl there at the 10 Cup Bar and Grill. It is the perfect place to do it. The Golf Club of Texas, you know exactly where it is, right off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. Whether it's for dinner at the 10 Cup or around with your buddies, your next tournament, go check them out. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for Super Bowl 59. The Philadelphia Eagles face the Kansas City Chiefs Sunday at 5:30. The Chiefs, led by MVP quarterback Patrick Mahomes, aims for an unprecedented third consecutive Super Bowl victory, a feat never achieved in NFL history. Meanwhile, the Eagles, with a formidable defense and a dynamic offense, are ready to challenge the reigning champions. Don't miss a moment of this historic matchup, presented locally by Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. Sunday at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for Super Bowl 59.
When life changes fast, you need a lawyer who's been there. AJ here for the Hicks Law Firm. Attorney John Hicks offers unique experience as a veteran and first responder to give you a strategic, results-driven approach. Facing divorce, child custody battle, or a complex family dispute, the Hicks Law Firm offers flat-fee representation from beginning to end, so you know exactly what to expect with no surprises. Visit jhickslawfirm.com for a free consultation. That's jhickslawfirm.com, a local law firm with the national resources you need to win. The Hicks Law Firm.
Hey, it's James Pledger. Have you played Pick 6 from DraftKings? Well, you better get on it. It's Super Bowl 59, the last time to play NFL Pick 6 this season. As the official daily fantasy sports partner of the NFL, DraftKings does fantasy sports like nobody else. Play for better payouts on Pick 6. It's super easy to get started. Just select 2 or more players, choose if they'll have more or less of a stat, like touchdowns, yardage, sacks, and more. And DraftKings is making it even sweeter for first-timers. New Pick 6 customers play $5 to get $59 in Pick 6 credits. Win more cash on Pick 6. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app and use code KTFM. That's code KTFM for new customers to play $5 and get $59 in Pick 6 credits. Only on DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 plus. Agent eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus award is non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TURN to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TURN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TURN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
You know, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
George gets justice.
Hurt in a wreck? Get George. Hit by an 18-wheeler or commercial truck? Get George. Injured at work? Get George. When you're dealing with personal injury, you need to get George because George gets justice. I'm George Salinas, and my San Antonio-based firm has been recognized across the state of Texas and the United States. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Live from New Orleans, it's the Blitz, broadcasting from the AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row. Ahead of Sunday's game, here's Jason Minix and Joe Reinagle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on at YouTube, the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix in New Orleans for our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage. Of course, the game Sunday night. You can listen to that game right here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star, brought to you by Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. We also, if you want to call your shot, you could score big. Win $50,000 thanks to Dietz Tractor. Simple. Predict the score. Go to sasportstar.com and make your prediction. It could be worth $50,000. Now, we're going to do our final predictions coming up.
Yes.
Prime picks on the Blitz, although prime pick since it's singular this week. But if you guys want to call your shot, whether you're commenting on YouTube or maybe Ryan can put up a poll, who do you think is going to win? Because I'm very curious. Early in the week, it's been all Kansas City around here, but the last couple of days, a lot more people talking about the Eagles. Now, that said, we were at the Dicka Jaw cigar party last night.
Yeah,
Ron Jaworski there, but a lot of Philadelphia Eagles at that party last night, and Philadelphia Eagle fans. And quite honestly, last night, walking around Frenchman Street, and we were kind of on Bourbon, but I don't know where it was. We didn't go like strolling down Bourbon, but this bar that it was the last stop and it was on the corner. That bar was overrun with Eagle fans.
A lot of Eagle fans in there, yeah. I found it fascinating, too, and I finally snapped to the fact that Ron Jaworski was a Philadelphia Eagle, right? So a lot of Eagles
You don't
there.
say that out loud.
Well, I mean, Mike Ditka, right? But obviously a Chicago Bear. That's where he made his bones. However, having said all of that, I was wondering, there were only Philadelphia Eagle cheerleaders there last night.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, where's Kansas City? Well, obviously, duh. It's Jaworski.
Ron Jaworski.
Yeah.
Yes. See, awareness is an interesting thing.
It really is.
Right?
Yeah, it really is.
Awareness is an interesting thing.
Uh-huh.
Every year at this party, the Eagle cheerleaders are there, whether the Eagles are in the Super Bowl or not. and you have not realized that?
I haven't snapped to that, no. And I will tell on you, though. There is a photo.
No, you can't. Remember, they told us don't.
No, they never said that.
Yeah, they
as a
did.
matter
They
of fact,
said, please
Jason
don't post it.
Minix
Mhm.
took a picture with the Philadelphia Eagle cheerleaders.
I did.
Yes, he did.
I did.
And was very proud. I don't know. I think maybe, they've been to the Super Bowl a couple of times here recently. I think he might be switching allegiances.
No, and the reason why I can't post it, I've got a very good friend that is an Eagles fan.
Uh-huh.
And I took the picture with the cheerleaders with birds up. And I sent that to him. But they were like, oh, you can't really. Please don't post that.
Who said that? Oh, I see what
Yeah.
you say.
Yeah.
Well, but I think they took two, though.
No.
One you can post. Yeah.
No, I don't.
I saw the guy take it. Yeah.
I think there's birds flying in all of it.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
But we'll check them out. I'm just saying, you look like you were having a great time. And you blended right into that Eagle green. Really nice.
I did not.
Yeah, you really did.
I did not.
Yeah.
I did not blend in. Although, I mean, quite frankly, a lot of people taking pictures with those cheerleaders, even those wearing Chiefs gear.
Yep.
I mean, that's the way it is.
I took a picture with them and sent it to our daughter, who's an Eagle fan. Maggie's daughter, our daughter.
Yeah.
And she was very happy.
Yeah. So you're giving me crap about taking pictures with the cheerleaders, but who was first? Hey, let's take pictures with the cheerleaders.
Well, I mean, when in Rome,
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, come on. What are you going to do?
Yet you meet Jelly Roll and don't think about taking a picture.
I did not even think about a picture there. I was just excited to talk to the man and shake his hand.
In the men's room.
Outside of the men's room. I was outside
the men's room.
Well, either way, what difference? If you don't talk to people in the men's room?
Generally not.
Well, you've never
ahead.
met a celebrity in the men's room.
That is not true.
Yeah?
That is not true. One time in Atlanta, we were at an RAB conference, and Gavin DeGraw was at the urinal next to me.
Did you talk to him? Yes, is the answer.
Not while doing business, because quite frankly, I didn't know who he was at the time.
So
I was next to Steve Carell one time, but I didn't say anything to him either in a men's room.
Missed opportunity.
I don't think so.
Missed opportunity.
Not really. I mean, there's a time and place, and I think in the bathroom you don't bother people.
Well, I didn't bother him. I mean, there was nobody else in there. He went straight. And when I turned around in my shock, I said, "You're Jelly Roll."
Like he didn't know that.
Well, he might have forgot. Who knows? I don't know.
I don't think he forgets who he is, especially right now.
Well, it was an interesting encounter, to say the least.
We do have a poll up on our YouTube page. Who do you think is winning the Super Bowl, Chiefs or Eagles? Early on, it's the Eagles, barely 54% to 46%, although it's only been up a minute and 13 votes. And then there's some score predictions on there. Make sure you make your score predictions. Do it on YouTube, sure, but also sasportstar.com, because if you predict the score and you get it right on YouTube, you don't get a damn thing. But if you do it right at sasportstar.com, you could win $50,000.
That's incredible and well worth the time and effort to go and do that.
Yeah, thanks to Dietz Tractor for that. Predict the score. Worth $50,000.
Might as well.
Why
right?
not?
I mean, might as well have something in there. It's kind of like buying a lottery ticket. You can't win unless you buy one.
Well, and looking at some of the score predictions, 32-27, Philadelphia, 48-43, Philly, 34-32, Philly, a last-second field goal. Interesting people, and interesting for Texans. I'm assuming, although I know people watch on YouTube from all over the country and according to some data, the world. I'm surprised there's a number of Texans choosing Philadelphia.
Well, I mean, if you're a Texan fan, you don't have anything against Philadelphia.
Well, when I say Texan, I'm not thinking Texans fans like Houston Texans. I'm just thinking San Antonio Texans, Texas in general. You know, there was a deal the other day, 80% of the country is rooting for Philadelphia. Texas is one of the teams that was rooting for Kansas City based on hashtag graphic and all that kind of stuff. And I'm looking at that going, nobody's rooting for Philadelphia. They are rooting against Kansas City, and Philadelphia just happens to be the other team.
Well, that could very well be. And I just wondered if the predictions that are being made on YouTube and on our poll there are that, where you don't really know or think Philly's going to win, but you sure want them to. So it's going to be interesting to see. Look, history is history. I'm going to make my pick coming up and give you the reasons why, and you'll do the same, and so we'll pledge. But it's not going to kill me either way, right? I mean, if the Eagles win, okay, so be it. If the Chiefs win, so be it. But I have a good feeling about it.
I just want a good game.
Yeah,
I want a good game. I'm going to have some good barbecue, and I want a good game, and so. You guys can continue to make your predictions there on YouTube. You can call your shot with us here, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Twitter at Joe Reinagle 210. You can tweet at me at Jason Minix, the station at SA Sports Star. Make sure you're following on Twitter. Same handles for Instagram as well, especially Instagram. The Instagram stories with a lot of the fun that we were having last night and tonight. We're going to the Madden party tonight, which features Jelly Roll, not in a bathroom.
You never know.
Chris Stapleton. Well, we're not going to see Jelly Roll in a bathroom tonight. I can almost promise you that. Chris Stapleton and Shabuzi. That's what's on tap for tonight. So if follow along on socials, again, at Joe Reinagle 210 on Instagram, at Jason Minix, at SA Sports Star. Call your shots. We'll talk more about the game. And Saquon Barkley, did he get robbed of MVP or did Lamar get robbed of MVP as Josh Allen got the trophy? We'll get into that coming up here as we continue with our Radio Row coverage in New Orleans. As we talk about social media, and sometimes as you're scrolling through, you can find yourself bombarded by bad news, bad comments, hot takes, picture-perfect families, people with their humble professional updates. It's hard not to get wrapped up in how everyone else is doing, but imagine how you would feel if you spent just 45 minutes focused on how you are doing. That's why you need to know about Cerebral. They make it easier than ever to access dedicated therapists and doctor-prescribed medication personalized to you. The best part, Cerebral offers in-network care so you can focus on feeling better without worrying about the cost. In fact, 72% of people say they felt better in just 12 weeks. Now, you think about mental health and taking care of yourself in that area. I've certainly become more aware of that in the last couple of years as my daughter is studying to become a therapist there at Arizona State. And you think about a place like Cerebral where they make mental health care easy, accessible, and more affordable. Whether you need therapy, psychiatric care, or both, Cerebral connects you with expert clinicians, all from the comfort of your home. Cerebral is also proud to be an official sponsor of the San Antonio Spurs. Just like athletes prioritize their physical health, mental health is just as important, and Cerebral is here to help you build a strong foundation for your overall well-being. Take the first step today. Go to the website, Cerebral.com. Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with insurance. Cerebral. Make time for mind time.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the big game in the Big Easy.
It's showtime. Let's do it.
And the only local station bringing you exclusive wall-to-wall coverage from New Orleans. All brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. We're live from Radio Row with insider interviews, breaking stories, and all the pregame excitement leading up to the superb hour.
This is exactly where we want to be.
From the biggest names in sports to behind-the-scenes access, we've got it all.
I like this kind of party.
Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage is brought to you in part by Flight by Yuengling, Circa Las Vegas, Smokey Mo's Barbecue, Synergenx, Testosterone and Weight Loss, and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. Your front row seat to the backstage action, live from New Orleans, is 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code EXIT25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code EXIT25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code EXIT25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Bombas makes the most comfortable socks, underwear, and T-shirts.
Warning, Bombas are so absurdly comfortable you may throw out all your other clothes.
Sorry, do we legally have to say that?
No, this is just how I talk, and I really love my Bombas.
They do feel that good. And they do good, too. One item purchased equals one item donated.
To feel good and do good, go to bombas.com/radio and use code radio for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/radio and use code radio at checkout.
Febreze. It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now, all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Rox Discount Vitamins and More wants to thank God and San Antonio for making Rox the king of supplements. Are you losing weight, building muscle, or just getting healthy? Rox has you covered. Weight loss and muscle building packages starting at just $75. Plus, get a free in-body scan in 15 seconds with the In-Body 270 analysis. Start tracking your results today. The pros at Rox know their products, how they work, and what's best for your health and fitness goals. Call 210-342-7625 or visit roxdiscountvitamins.com.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? I guarantee she does. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. If you're considering divorce, it's absolutely crucial to understand your options right now. Don't let alimony catch you off guard. Protect what you've built and secure your hard-earned assets. Visit TexasDivorce.com. At Barton & Associates, we focus on navigating the complexities of divorce law to ensure you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but you have a choice. Take control of the process or allow your spouse to dictate the terms. If you're serious about safeguarding what you have built and your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team for you. We'll act swiftly and decisively, ensuring that you're not taken advantage of. Call Barton & Associates at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio. Some things you wouldn't mind being stuck with, like a huge inheritance. But a phone that has to be plugged in just right so it charges is not one of those things. Switch to Verizon and we'll pay off your old phone up to $800 via prepaid MasterCard for a new one on us. Just trade in any phone from our top brands with select unlimited plans. $829.99 purchase with new smartphone line on select unlimited plans. Minimum $90 per month with auto pay plus taxes and fees for 36 months required. Plus $830 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. Trade-in terms apply. Payoff phone requires smartphone purchase and port-in with new smartphone line on select plan. Must provide most recent bill showing payoff amount of eligible phone. Additional terms apply.
When you're trying to find quality candidates, all the searching, screening, and interviewing can become a job itself. You need Indeed, the all-in-one platform that makes it easy to interview, screen, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Rise and hot! It's the 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Big Game Giveaway.
You asked for it, you got it!
Predict the exact score of the big game in New Orleans, and you could score $50,000. Make your predictions now at sasportstar.com.
I like this kind of party.
The 50K Big Game Giveaway, brought to you by Deets Tractor. Score big with Deets Tractor in Seguin and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
What's that? This is exactly where we want to be.
Live from the AA Best Bell Bonds Radio Row in New Orleans with coverage leading up to Sunday's big game. It's The Blitz with Jason Minix and Joe Reinagle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix in New Orleans. AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage brought to you in part by Flight by Yuengling. Circa Las Vegas, which we're not that far away from our next big station trip, and you guys can come with us to Circa. Opening day of Major League Baseball, second round Sweet 16 of the tournament. CircaLasVegas.com. Promo code Blitz, 20% off your rooms. Come hang out with us as we do our show at Circa Las Vegas. Synergenx, testosterone, weight loss. Smokey Mo's barbecue. And boy, they've got some great packs you can get for the big game. Southern recipe pork rinds.
All of that stuff. But, Smokey Mo's you're talking about. I mean, you don't want to cook, right? You go to Smokey Mo's, let them do the cooking for you, and just bring it in. You'll be a hero.
Well, there's twofold. I mean, if you're going to a party or you're having a party and you don't want to deal with that, let Smokey Mo's do it. Yeah, they've got this rib pack, they got a 3-meat special, or their Baker Bar, which is those baked potatoes that you can get with all the fixings on it. Those are always a hit at parties. So even if you want to do like your own ribs, but you want to do the Baker Bar, they got it all there. I mean, it's fantastic.
Absolutely. And for me, that'd be the way to go.
For you,
right? I mean, I honestly, after working our fingers to the bone while we're here in New Orleans,
work.
We're gonna get in, and then have to cook all day. And no, I'd rather Smokey Mo's do it.
Well, I mean, you look at it, and I mean, you're certainly not wrong about that, because my wife has decided we are having a Super Bowl party.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So, I'm going to do one of two things. Either get up early Sunday and fire up the multiple grills, or head over to Smokey Mo's.
Yeah.
It's what there will be ribs on Sunday.
One way or the other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or, it's the way to do it. That's for sure. What's interesting is we, do this Radio Row thing. And it's your fourth, right?
It is,
with the radio station.
Uh-huh.
I know you covered other Super Bowls
during
your days at Ken's TV. 25 years at Ken's TV.
Yes.
This is 14 Radio Rows for me, or 15? 15. And no surprise, the Cowboys have never been in it. I think we all know the drought. Even though Stephen Jones thought it was a, I don't know, what was this phrasing on that with the old
this drought
so-called
that people
drought.
say we're in terms of a championship game or a Super Bowl.
The drought.
Yeah, that people say we're in.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, it's
Air
proof,
quotes.
because I've never sat here on Radio Row and seen banners like what I'm looking at right now for Kansas City or Philadelphia. Haven't seen them. Yet Jerry Jones, the general manager of the Dallas Cowboys, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, in town last night, and he was talking, he was at the NFL Honors Show, and he was asked, how far away are the Cowboys from playing in Super Bowl Sunday?
Well, the decisions I'm making are not based on rebuilding. They're based on competing now. Decisions I made last year were based on competing now. Now, they didn't exactly work out, but I think I paid Dak more than anybody's ever been paid in the NFL. That's now. That's not the future. So we're excited about our team's ability to compete right now.
Okay, so he paid Dak a lot of money, and so we're going to win now.
And all he did last year was bitch that they didn't have any more money to go spend because they gave Dak all that money. And you look at the way they went about their decision-making process last year, you cannot convince me that that was a win-now attitude and a win-now plan, because we questioned it all offseason, and the year went the way a lot of people thought it would. They put a whole lot of stock in all those young players all being hits. And we all know enough that doesn't happen. You're going to draft guys. Some are going to work. Some aren't. Every team deals with that. And so Jerry's philosophy, let all these guys walk in free agency, and we're going to replace them with all these young players and expect all those young players to play at the level of the guys that left. That was a bad plan. That was a plan on hope, and hope is always a bad plan. And I'm convinced that last year was not about winning. And you say that, you do have a lot of high-priced talent, and I know it's about winning, but that was not a winning plan. This year, is it going to be different for Jerry Jones? The offseason is here. What's he going to do differently this year? So, yeah, if it's about winning now, okay, we're paying Dak. We're going to pay Micah. We've paid CD. Who else are you going to pay? And figure out how you're going to pay them to get them in here to have a team that can compete in the Super Bowl. Next year's game in San Francisco, figure it out. He doesn't have it out. I mean, listen to guys running out of breath there. I mean, yeah, I mean, you can play that again. He ran out of air in 24 seconds. And for Jerry, I don't think ever happened.
I don't think it's ever happened either. Look, if the first thing they're going to have to decide to do is who's going to stay. They got some guys they're going to have to pay to stick around, and some guys that are going to get offers from other teams. Oso Odighizuwa is the number one guy.
Yep.
Zach Martin, if he decides to come back, is another guy. Do you pay Zach, or do you let him walk and go somewhere else? And there are others on that. I think Jordan Lewis is a free agent. I mean, there are some players that Jerry's got to decide, are those players going to stay? And if they don't stay, how are you going to replace them? Are you just going to draft and hope that those young guys come in and do the job that the veterans are doing? So there's a lot of decisions to make and a lot of holes to be filled. And again, it's revisionist history, and I can't go back and change anything. I just think you can rebuild this team a hell of a lot quicker if you would have just cut ties with some of the high-priced veterans that you've got and started over. I think teams have shown that is the way to go in this version of the NFL.
And again, can't go back and change it. But like I said all along, Dak was going to get paid because the Cowboys had never done anything to find his replacement. And everybody is in search of a franchise quarterback. Cowboys feel like they have one, so you got to build around it. He says we're not rebuilding. Yet we go back, and first big decision he had to make in this offseason was who's going to replace Mike McCarthy. And it really does seem like he was surprised that Mike McCarthy is no longer the head coach. And the interview process seemed ridiculous. And even last night, people were asking him again, you really hired Schottenheimer? Why?
His lineage. We call it osmosis, sitting around the breakfast table. He made a young lifetime out of asking his father to help him be around organizations so he could learn as much football as he possibly could. So he's no accident, but he's actually had a lot of experience to be a first-time head coach. I thought we could bet on that. He's, of course, favored in the locker room in terms of the players supporting him and wanting him to be our coach. So all of that's good, gives us some continuity, but lets us have a new shot at it.
Lets us have a new shot at it. Look, Jerry was not planning on Mike McCarthy leaving. I think that's obvious to everybody now. And we've had guests here on Radio Row say the same thing. So that's the fact. He thought he was going to stay here. He didn't. He left. And they had to scramble and find somebody. And they're going with Schotty. And look, I have no doubt that Schottenheimer is a good coach. All right, whether he'll be a good head coach or not remains to be seen. However, having said that, we'll go back to the first topic we discussed. He's got to have players. I don't care what coach. You got to have players. And if you don't have players, you're not going to be successful. Mike McCarthy, I thought, did a hell of a job last year to win 7 games with that team that he had, and then with the injury issues that he had to deal with. So Jerry's got to provide the players. And if he doesn't do that, Schottenheimer won't be successful.
You know, it's interesting the way we judge coaches and sometimes miss them when they're gone, even if they haven't been gone that long. Like last year, you and I said a bunch of times over at UTSA, that might have been Jeff Traylor's best coaching job as the head coach of UTSA because of everything that he had to deal with all the different injuries and whatnot. Mike McCarthy, who the year before didn't get an extension, and again, did he do anything to get fired? Then no. To get a raise, no. But to be a lame duck head coach and then to have the issues they had injury-wise and the roster that Jerry gave him to work with, the deck was stacked against him. We were all ready for Dan Quinn to leave. He was going to be the scapegoat. And then you see him get a head coaching job and take a team to the NFC Championship game, and you go, damn, should they have done more to keep him? Or last year, Mike, you're out. Dan Quinn, you're in. It's funny when you look back and go, one little domino falls here a little differently, and who knows what happens. But then again, you know, Dan Quinn ends up with a Jaden Daniels and Cliff Kingsbury, and that seems like a perfect marriage.
Well, it certainly did this year. That's for sure. We'll see if it's long-term success or not. I'm glad Kingsbury's going to stick around there for a little continuity for Daniels. But look, back to the Cowboys. It's just I don't think anybody knows what Jerry's going to do. Maybe Jerry at this point in time will just say the hell with it, open up the checkbook, go out and get a few key players. Because look, and these young guys are going to be better this year, you would hope. Although Mozzie Smith still hasn't done anything after 3 years. However, having said all of that, I think some of them will be better. But again, I think you need a mix of veteran guys, and there's going to be some free agents out there that the Cowboys will have the ability to go get. And then sign some of their guys that they want to keep. Don't just let them all walk away the way he did last year.
I'm just curious. Jerry sitting at NFL Honors last night, and even Snoop Dogg is making jokes about the Dallas Cowboys.
My boy, all-pro podcaster Micah Parsons is in the house. Now, Micah is allowed to say whatever he wants to say on this podcast because Jerry Jones keeps trying to find it at the record store.
At the record store. I think that's funny as hell. And look, but Jerry deserves those jokes. He does. I had a conversation with Scott Agolnik last night. We were talking at the cigar party. He does PR work for the Dallas Cowboys, and you know, Jerry's okay with stuff like that. And he's always been okay with stuff like that. As long as the criticism is fair, Jerry will take it, and he doesn't care. And something like that, I'm sure Jerry laughed. I mean, Jerry's not exactly a spring chicken anymore.
No, he's definitely not that. But, I mean, and you're right, Jerry has always been that way. He is okay with the criticism if it's fair. And he knows, and he'll tell you sometimes, I know when I've made a mistake. I made a decision, it doesn't work out, he owns it. There are times he owns things just because he's the owner and the GM that really wasn't his fault. But at some point, I know the guy wants to win. We know that. We you know, like when we're, you know, getting to visit with Jerry like at training camp, and it's very casual, you know the passion he has and the drive he has to win. But he's also the decision maker, and ultimately the way he goes about business sometimes, you just scratch your head and wonder what the hell are you thinking, because it's not working. You know, as a Cowboy fan, it pains me to say Philadelphia is one of the best run organizations in the NFL. And, you know, you look at San Francisco and how well run they are, Kansas City and how well run they are. And you look at the teams that win. Washington has been a bad word show for years. Little Danny Snyder's forced to sell his team. They've got new ownership, and that ownership group also owns the New Jersey Devils, which is my hockey team. I know how that guy runs franchises. And Washington is going to start becoming one of the better run organizations in the NFL. And then you got Jerry Jones.
Yeah, that's tough. And we've talked a lot about culture this week with a lot of the guests that we've had, and that's part of the issue. It was a Chris Canty, I think, said something that I think was brilliant. You can assemble good players. The Cowboys have good players, but that doesn't mean they're a good team.
Yep.
And I thought that was, you know, it's a good way to think about it. It doesn't matter what players you have on the team or how good they are. They got to be a good team. And maybe Brian Schottenheimer is the guy that can change the culture a little bit, although he sounded more like he wanted a love fest during his press conference. We'll see if that works.
That's a culture.
Well, I guess it is a culture. I'm not sure if it's the right one, but it is a culture. We'll see how he does.
It's going to be interesting for sure. Texans, they are a well-run organization. what Nick Caserio has done, D'Amico Ryan, some of their draft picks. And one of those draft picks from 2 years ago is going to join us in about 35 minutes. Will Anderson Jr. will join us coming up at 4:30. We got Donovan McNabb rolling by at 4:15 as we continue here on Radio Row with our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage live in New Orleans. When you need an electrician, you know Hill Electric is available 24/7 for residential and commercial needs. I know I've used Hill Electric for a variety of projects at my home through the years, and they do fantastic work. Have for over 3 decades. The family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. So whatever your project is, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price. Never a service charge, always free estimates. So call Hill Electric, 210-404-9074, 404-9074, or online, hill-electric.com.
Taking you home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar! La, 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 la.
Having a party for the big game? Let Smokey Mo's handle the barbecue. Go with the Big Game Rib Party Pack. 3 pounds of delicious Smokey Mo's slow smoked ribs, plus sides. Or get the Tailgate Party Pack, a buffet in a box with brisket, turkey, sausage, and sides. Add in a Baker Bar Group Pack. The chopped baked potato bar is perfect for groups. Smokey Mo's is great Texas barbecue that will make your big game party super. Order online at SmokeyMo'sBBQ.com. Smokey Mo's, the pit is lit.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Well, De'Aaron Fox and the San Antonio Spurs will be back in action tonight there in Charlotte as the rodeo road trip continues. They'll take on the Hornets tonight. Tip-off set for 6 o'clock. That game's going to be televised on FanDuel Sports Network. Well, the NFL's not only going to Australia, but also Ireland this coming season. It was announced that the Pittsburgh Steelers will play a home game in Dublin. And get this, the SEC announced $808 million in profits last year. Wow.
This SportsCenter update brought to you by Twin Peaks.
Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage from New Orleans is brought to you in part by Flight by Yuengling, Circa Las Vegas, Smokey Mo's Barbecue, Synergenx Testosterone and Weight Loss, and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix in New Orleans. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage continues as we get ready for the game on a Sunday. You can listen to here on 94.1, brought to you by Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. So if you're going from party to party or whatever, put it on 94.1 in between stops.
Absolutely, or just turn the radio on and turn the TV down.
Well, Kevin Harlan will be on the call.
Yep.
And I'm hoping that Kevin will join us in the 5 o'clock hour, hoping. He's got a busy day. We just saw him a little while ago. Kevin Harlan calling a game versus, I'm just saying, it's an option.
It is an option.
It's an option.
What are you saying, Tom Brady? You don't want to listen to Brady?
I'm just saying.
All right.
I could listen to Kevin Harlan read the phone book.
Absolutely.
I mean, to be honest.
Yeah, no doubt.
And
no
if
doubt.
there's any craziness on the field, streaker or whatever, it happens. Fox will ignore it. Kevin Harlan's going to have fun.
Especially in New Orleans.
Right?
That could happen. I could see a scenario where that happens. But, yeah, so you got options. You certainly do. And I see Joshua Jimenez saying the Terminator. That is Will Anderson Jr., by the way, and
yes.
He is going to join us at 4:30. Excited about that interview.
Will Anderson at 4:30. So, Texans fans, tell your friends the Terminator.
The Terminator
at 4:30 here on the Blitz. We also have Donovan McNabb at 4:15. I just saw this headline. Obviously, last night we did not watch the NFL Honors show.
No.
I mean, we're in New Orleans. We were at the cigar party.
Yes, we were.
We were getting updates on who was winning what, but we didn't watch the show. But here at the our Airbnb, lovely spot.
On the inside.
On the inside. Uber drivers have told us that they don't like to go to that neighborhood.
Yeah, that's very true.
We've been warned by more than one Uber driver, don't stand outside very long.
At night.
At night especially.
Yes.
One guy said that he used to drive a cab, and they wouldn't, if they were either called to pick somebody up before Uber or needed somebody to drop, they wouldn't go. I mean, we're in a lovely part of town. Lovely. Beautiful on the inside of this Airbnb.
Yes, it is.
And now that I think about it, there's probably a couple of good reasons why when you looked at the photos online, before we booked the house, there was not one exterior shot. Not one.
Well, I mean, even on the outside, the house doesn't look bad. I mean,
it's done a nice job getting fixed up. I'm just wondering what happened to the house next door because it's not there anymore.
Well, it's not there anymore.
The foundation is.
Although the guy did tell us, one of them, that we're kind of in a flood zone.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
Where we're at. So
yeah.
Luckily it's not hurricane season.
Yes.
Here in New Orleans. That's a good thing.
Until we get to Bourbon Street.
Yeah. But everything's been fine. There's been no issues. And so it's all good.
But in this house, all I have is, Netflix. So I started watching the O.J. Simpson deal that's on Netflix right now. And I say started, I fell asleep in the first episode. I can't say if it's good, if it's bad. I mean, seeing Mark Furman do some interviews and going back, and I didn't watch enough of it to have any kind of opinion on it other than I started it. And then I see a headline. The NFL kept O.J. Simpson out of the in memoriam feature last night during NFL honors. And I find that kind of interesting.
Well, I find it interesting, and quite frankly, I find it a little insulting.
It's disrespectful.
Well, it is. And look, I mean, nobody likes O.J. Simpson, obviously, for obvious reasons, and I get that. But when he was a football player, he was a fantastic football player. One of the best running backs to ever play this game of football. And so it's you just real quick. I mean, he died this year. O.J. Simpson died. I don't think anybody's going to have a problem with the NFL doing that. You don't have to like the guy. You can hate the guy. Obviously, he did some things that I think we all know now are horrible. But when he played football, he was a great representative for the NFL, and he played the game spectacularly.
I mean, regardless of what he did in his post-playing days, he's a Hall of Famer. He was on the 75th anniversary all-time team. He was an MVP, and they've kept him in the Hall of Fame. They don't kick him out. When guys are judged for the Hall of Fame, because there have been some guys that have made the Hall of Fame based on what they did in between the lines, even if they were dirtbags out of the game. Because, we've had enough people on the Hall of Fame voting committee say that. They don't judge people's character when it comes to Hall of Fame or what they did away from the football field. It's what did you do in the game? And to not have his name in picture up when they do the in memoriam, I find that really disrespectful. I mean, I don't know that there wouldn't have been an outcry. I don't think, oh man, how'd they honor OJ? Dude, he was a football legend.
I don't think it would have been a bad thing either, quite frankly. And I guess the NFL was just afraid that there would be that backlash. But they should have done it. I mean, and then you never have to deal with it again. Right? You do that, and then you never have to deal with O.J. Simpson ever again. So, I thought it was disrespectful as well, and they should have done it. They didn't. That's what they chose to do. But look, I'll always remember O.J. Simpson. I mean, the guy was a phenomenal running back, and he did it on some Buffalo teams that were just god awful. And first 2,000-yard rusher, and those Buffalo teams were terrible.
Yeah,
and he made them what they were.
Well, and you think about, talking with Marcus Allen yesterday, and he's talking about how the game is different for running backs because the passing game wasn't as prevalent as it is today. So you were doing it with 9 in the box, and he did it with 14 games.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
It's crazy. Just got a press release from the San Antonio Spurs that they have completed a multi-team trade. Guess it took a couple of days for it to become official, but this is interesting. The Spurs announced that they have acquired Patrick Baldwin Jr. from the Washington Wizards and cash considerations from the Milwaukee Bucks in a 4-team deal with Washington, Milwaukee, and New York. In exchange, San Antonio sends a protected 2026 second-round pick to the Bucks. In a subsequent move, the Spurs waived Patrick Baldwin Jr.
Of course they did. They just wanted the cash.
Yeah.
They needed some cash. I'm going to have to pay some players. We need cash. So I guess it did just to make it official, right? But I find that funny.
That is interesting. I'm eyeing this cookie that's sitting here because I'm hungry. We've been grazing.
Yeah.
If you're watching on YouTube, I'm going to show you an ugly cookie. And I say ugly just because of the logo that is on it. But I promise you, these are the best cookies you will ever eat. Now, there's a whole setup down the row for like a Lambeau Field type deal because Green Bay is hosting the draft. So the draft host committee has got this stuff, and they're passing out these cookies. And we've been eating these all week. These cookies are freaking awesome.
They really are.
What they are chocolate-covered Oreos. Now, I've never had one. I was thinking, wow, when did Oreos, because I love Oreos, but when did they start covering these with chocolate? Now, outside of that ugly logo on it, it's fantastic. So we have gone by their booth, I don't know, 8, 9, 4, 5 dozen times to collect cookies because they're great.
They are delicious.
They're addicting.
Yes.
They're worse than Girl Scout cookies when you get the little sleeve and you think you're going to have 2 or 3 and then the sleeve is gone. That's how these things are. So I asked them, I was like, where did you get these? They were like, a little bakery does them just down the road from Lambeau Field called Synergenx.
Synergenx.
Whoever does Oreo cookies, you guys need to sell these at HEB. This is crack. It really is.
Well, I mean, I would think that this particular bakery, unless they just hate every other team in the NFL, I'd start taking orders. Yeah, you put a star on there, or a 49er on there, or a Buffalo Bill on there.
You could just leave the damn logo off.
Well, I'm just saying.
All right, you just sell chocolate-covered Oreos, or if there is somebody listening now that is in the bakery business, repurpose your Oreos with this chocolate. But the lady was telling me from Green Bay that this bakery is just a famous bakery in Wisconsin, and they make their own chocolate, and that's what they're using here. Now, I don't. Again, it's crack. I don't know what's in it, but it's fantastic. But like those Dots pretzels, the lady that created Dots pretzels, and I heard this from our friend Mark Singleton from Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. She used to buy just regular pretzels, and she would go back, re-season them, bake them, and do whatever, and then resell them as Dots, and sold that idea and her company for gazillions of dollars.
Now,
just repurposing somebody else's pretzel. Repurpose your Oreos. This is insane.
Well, here's the question that I have for you.
Uh-huh.
All right. Now, these are good, but we've been getting them for free.
Yeah.
These cookies are $2.50 a piece.
I'd pay $5.
No, $5?
Dude, their cookies are that good.
$2.50 for a cookie.
Yeah, but that's because there's a logo on it. Take the logo off, and it's
$2,
85 cents.
No,
I don't know,
dude. I'm not paying $2.50 for anything that resembles this cookie.
Yeah, but
it's good.
I mean, now that you know they're $2.50, there's a price tag on that.
Yes, $2.50.
Holy crap! There really is.
Yes,
$2.50 each.
$2.50 each for this thing.
Hold on. Damn, he does.
Dude, $2.50. I'm not paying $2.50 for this. Now, so there may really be crack in there. There could be. $2.50. Are you kidding me?
I mean, you got a point. But they are good.
They're not that good.
I mean, you've had $250 worth of these cookies this week at $2.50 a pop.
I have, but I haven't had to pay $2.50. They're free here on Radio Row. And maybe that's what they're trying to do is get me hooked. I mean, addicted to these things.
Well, no, because, I mean, we've been walking away and there's nothing. I had to ask, where'd you get them? And so she gave me the little sticker of the bakery. That's the only way I know where it is. So they haven't done this shop any favors here for anybody that would be addicted. How do you order these yourself?
Well, now you can. You know where it is.
I can, but at $2.50.
Yeah, I have a feeling there'll be a box of those things arriving at the Minix household next week.
Saturday.
Uh-huh.
I might have already gone online and ordered.
You may have. I would not be surprised.
All right, mate. Well,
$2.50 for this thing.
All right, that's they're good.
They're good, but $2.50.
I think you go in, you buy $10 worth of cookies.
$10 worth. That's what, 5? They're not even 5.
Can you not do math?
What's
that's 4?
Okay. Even that pisses me off. 4 cookies. Those will be gone before you get home.
How much are Girl Scout cookies now? $5
for a whole box?
Yeah.
We're talking about one cookie.
Dude, I'd pay $20 for a box of these.
It'd be more than that.
I mean,
$20.
These cookies are incredible.
Wow.
I'm just saying, but
$2.50.
I'm glad you saw that price tag.
Yes.
You cheap SOB. I wouldn't have known.
Dude, I'll spend money, ridiculously.
Yeah, you spend a lot of stupid money.
But
then you'll spend money on these two.
No, I won't.
Because they're cracked.
Well, I'm going to enjoy them here, and I'll enjoy this one, but it's free. And I ain't paying no $2.50 for a cookie.
Erica's going to have to run down and get some more before they pack up shop. Go get me $100 worth of cookies,
Yeah, no
kid.
kidding, man.
Exactly. My goodness. That is $2.50.
Wow, $2.50.
Man. Donovan McNabb will join us coming up next. Will Anderson Jr. at 4:30 here on the Blitz as we get ready for the big game. And I tell you what, while we're in Louisiana and at Texas, Underdog is available to play in the great state of Texas. And you think about your big game party, the best app is on your phone. It's called Underdog, the best place to cash it on all your takes for the big game at playing the Pick'em game. I love playing the Pick'em game where you could win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on player stats. And I say 1,000 times your money. You can play for as little as $1. You can play $5, $10, whatever, and win up to 1,000 times your money. And anytime you're watching and winning, it makes the overall experience that much better. Create your entries with your great football picks on Sunday for your chance to win some real cash prizes watching the big game. Underdog is the only pick-em platform that puts the power to cash out in your hands. And with Underdog Rescues, you get your money back and receive a promo if an early injury causes your entry to lose. Underdog is the best place to play pick'em. Download the Underdog app, sign up with my promo code STAR, deposit now, and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Again, promo code STAR. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, promo code STAR at Underdog.
Are you facing divorce, a child custody battle, or a complex family dispute? AJ here for the Hicks Law Firm. Attorney John Hicks brings unique experience to the table. As a veteran and first responder, he knows the challenges, he knows the pressure, and he knows how to fight for what's yours. The Hicks Law Firm offers flat-free representation from beginning to end and payment plans so you can get representation now. Visit jhickslawfirm.com for a free consultation. That's jhickslawfirm.com, a local law firm with the national resources you need to win.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here for my good friends over at Prize Picks. It is now or never. The big game is almost here. Don't miss out on the last big one of the season. And Prize Picks is the absolute best place to win cash while watching the big game. And I'm talking about serious cash, 1,000 times your money. And it is so easy to do. And on top of that, we've got money for you. Just check out the promos tab to tail any of our super sweet Millie winners. Big game lineups, you can get them. If you tail a lineup that goes 3 for 3, you can win up to $1 million. That's part of the promo finds. That's why you go to Prize Picks. I'll tell you what, you want some cash? Use the code Alamo. You get $50 instantly after you play your first game. That's a $5 lineup with 2 times the money. Let's go play Prize Picks. You've been putting it off all year long, or you've been playing along with the other 10 million. Prize Picks is the place to be. Go run your game.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor. which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text HOT to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text HOT to 42424. That's HOT to 42424.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Rocks Discount Vitamins and More wants to thank God and San Antonio for making Rocks the king of supplements. Are you losing weight, building muscle, or just getting healthy? Rocks has you covered. Weight loss and muscle building packages starting at just $75. Plus, get a free in-body scan in 15 seconds with the In-Body 270 analysis. Start tracking your results today. The pros at Rocks know their products, how they work, and what's best for your health and fitness goals. Call 210-342-7625 or visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com.
Want to burn fat and build muscle at the same time? M-Sculpt Neo at Dr. Connie Heyer's Plastic Surgery and Med Spa does just that. It's a non-invasive treatment that sculpts and tones with zero downtime. Call 210-494-8446 or findyourbeautiful.com.
Methodist Care Now Urgent Care has 18 locations throughout San Antonio, open 7 days a week. From injuries and illnesses to school and sports physicals, Care Now Urgent Care is here to help you feel better fast. Find a location near you at carenow.com and use our convenient web check-in today.
It's the 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Big Game Giveaway.
You asked for it, you got it.
Predict the exact score of the big game in New Orleans, and you could score $50,000. Make your predictions now at sasportstar.com.
I like this kind of party.
The 50K Big Game Giveaway, brought to you by Deextractor. Score big with Deextractor and Seguin. And 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Live from New Orleans, it's the Blitz, broadcasting from the AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row. Ahead of Sunday's game, here's Jason Minix and Joe Reinagle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back to the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage continues with legendary quarterback Donovan McNabb joining us now. Dude, this Philly in the Super Bowl, and we saw you last night at the cigar party.
Right.
Looked like a teammate reunion.
Yeah. Well, and that's what it is, and I give credit to Ron and his wife and being able to do that for over the years now, because it gives us that opportunity to see each other that we haven't seen a lot of the guys over a year or possibly years. And so we get a chance to kind of have fun, crack jokes, act like we've seen each other just yesterday, because it's memories. It's memories that you have, and you got to take advantage of those opportunities.
So, Donovan, when you guys see this, I mean, obviously it didn't turn out well the first time these two teams met in the Super Bowl, but
right.
Philly's got a hell of a team. You guys got a real shot.
They do, and they had a great team back then as well. So I just think the experience factor now works in the favor of Philadelphia because of the key guys have been in their position before. Now you have some young guys like Jalen Carter, and you got these guys like DeZean and Mitchell and a lot of these other young guys. This is fresh for them, and so I think for Jalen, Saquon, he's kind of in a whole different realm now. You get moved over to Philadelphia from New York, and now you find yourself in the Super Bowl. It's one that he'll always remember. So I think they take advantage of it.
When you think, Donovan, about Saquon not playing in that last game, chasing the record, will he regret that later?
No, he won't. And the thing is, I think for fans, they want to see him break it. But for a coach and being in that position as a former player, where if I would have played in the last game against Tampa Bay, played the full game, threw 2 or 3 touchdowns in the game, I would have made a certain amount of money. And Andy had a conversation with me, and he goes, "You're playing three plays in the game," and I go,
"I got a bonus."
3, like If I throw a couple touchdowns and still stay in the top, I make some money. And he's like, you'll make it back. You'll make it back. I need you healthy going into the playoffs, and I need us going full steam ahead. I guarantee you'll make it back. And so for Saquon, will he get that opportunity again? Maybe not, but he wins this Super Bowl, doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter.
Donovan, when you talk about Saquon, it seems like he just got a boost of adrenaline coming to Philadelphia.
Right.
And it just seems like, he's just a happy guy, it seems like, and playing like it.
Well, I think it revitalized his career because it showed that somebody enjoyed and wanted him. By the way things happen in New York, especially Hard Knocks, I think teams are going to start to refuse being a Hard Knocks.
Yeah, yes. Absolutely.
And it's sad. It's sad because it never really should have been one where it's like, you're inviting cameras into the locker room, cameras in the meeting rooms, cameras following GMs, cameras following players. You don't want to expose that information, sometimes because it will double back on you, especially in the social media world now. And so what's funny is he kept his job with the Giants.
Which is crazy. Everybody there did.
He kept his job. And the owner's in there, and owner's not agreeing with him. And he's constantly, are you sure? Like, are you serious? Like, the owner just walked off like, oh, okay. And it's like, now you look at this dude is rushing for 20-some thousand yards. And you like, and where's Daniel Jones?
Yeah.
Oh, we got to release Daniel Jones. Like, are you serious?
Exactly. And they still have a job.
And your son's telling you to draft Jaden Daniels.
Uh-huh.
You need to draft Jaden Daniels, man. Oh, well, do you think that he, is better than Daniel Jones? And he keep his job.
Yeah, it's like we're all fantasy football GMs, and he showed he could do that. Now, you just brought up sons. I heard you were in San Antonio not long ago. I do the national radio for the Navy All-American Bowl. I didn't see you there, but I heard that you were there because you've got a kid.
I was there Friday, Saturday, and the game. No, actually, I was there. When was it? Thursday, Friday, because the game was Saturday.
Yeah.
I ended up leaving on Friday night. I think it was Friday night or Saturday morning. So I wasn't there for the game, but hopefully my son will be playing in the game in 2 years.
Yeah, so he was there part of the combine.
He was there for the combine.
So what's it like having a high schooler right now in this NIL world?
Stressful. It's stressful because I can't imagine being the player. But as the dad, you're just trying to set the right path for him to be noticed, seen, and also see the competition that's out there. Be able to go out and compete with what you see may be the 4-star, the 5-star. They've been talking about this guy. All right, let's line up, me and you, mano y mano. Let me see what you're about. And that's where I'm taking my son in the mental world of seeing, hey, you know what? Let's line up versus this 4-star. They say this guy's getting recruited, got 31 offers. Okay, you know what? It doesn't matter when I line up on this line. You got to cover me. And so that's where I'm teaching him and taking him. And then the combine is just, drills that he's running and doing all of that. That's great. But it's really who can lace him up and who's going to win. And so we'll be going to a couple other camps. I won't overdo it. I'm not into that. But, I think the excitement when we went down there where he understood, okay, I'm on it. And so he came out as one of the top receivers at that, combine. And it's worked out well for him. He's a 3-star receiver. He's just a sophomore. We got work to do. We've been working. He's a kid that's always in the gym that wants to get better. And so I'm just excited as a dad to sit back and just kind of watch him flourish.
Awesome. Donovan McNabb, always appreciate you
Thank
stopping
you guys.
by, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Legendary Eagle quarterback.
Absolutely. Donovan McNabb, always a cool guy. And he was having a good time last night with all his teammates.
He was. That was
the cigar party.
It was fun seeing the way he interacted with all those guys. I mean, it's just a blast. He's a good dude.
Yeah, very good dude.
Good dude. His kid is going to be really good too. And
wide receiver though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
What I found most interesting was a comment that you made about the pressure that kid must have.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, think about it. And I actually took up for for my favorite NBA player, Bronny.
Bronny has earned it.
Yeah, but seriously, I mean, think about it, Bronny James. I mean, his father's one of the best to ever play the game. And you look at Donovan McNabb's kid. I mean, McNabb was a hell of a player. And these kids coming up, because of their last name now, people expect them to be the same. Obviously, Bronny is nowhere near Daddy.
Bronny has earned it.
So
that's Daddy.
And so I don't know if Donovan's kid's going to be as good as he was. Obviously, a different position. So Donovan was never fast necessarily. His kid must be if he's playing wide receiver.
Absolutely. That is for sure. On our YouTube channel, there is a poll. Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl? Donovan's Eagles or the Kansas City Chiefs? Right now, the Chiefs, 54% to the Eagles, 46%. Call your shot, go vote. And you can put a score in the YouTube comments, but honestly, go to sasportstar.com, predict the score, brought to you by Dietz Tractor, and you could win $50,000 if you're able to nail the score.
Absolutely.
sasportstar.com.
So you might as well put something in. I mean, right? Doesn't cost you anything. Put something in there, and you never know. You might get lucky.
Yeah, $50,000 could be yours if you're able to predict the score. Will Anderson Jr., the Terminator from the Houston Texans, will join us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Let us tell you about Dr. Connie Hires and why you need to go see her. Joe and I have been doing what's called M-Sculpt Neo. I've had a couple. And you can help your body burn fat, build muscle in 30 minutes. The MVP treatment. I'm doing it on the app. So is Joe. You can do your arms, your butt, your thighs. No weights, no sweat. You just get the results in 30 minutes. And I can already tell pants not fitting quite the same. You can tell it's working.
Yeah, it is working. And it feels good. I mean, you go in there and do this thing. I guarantee you just lay there and it just compresses or however, whatever the term is, but it makes your muscles.
Non-invasive muscle contractions.
It makes your muscles contract. And there's a reason I'm not a doctor. And right now, Dr. Hires is offering a heck of a deal, 15% off that package. So when you go over there, you check her out, 15% off. There are other specials for the month of February. It is Valentine's Day's coming up. It's coming up. They have a Sweetheart Rose facial with lip fix that they're offering for $95. A tummy tuck, you get $1,000 off. There's all kinds of great specials. All you have to do is check them out.
210-494-8446. Tell them the Blitz told you to call 494-8446. Whether it's for you, your wife, your girlfriend, whatever the case is, the website, findyourbeautiful.com. Findyourbeautiful.com.
The Morning Huddle.
I was looking at houses yesterday, and this house had in one of the bedrooms like a big hook where you could tell like
sex chair actually going on in there.
I may not have those in my room right now.
Oh,
So you're
and
thinking like
Vic's hanging from it,
like a
except he's
circus
hanging
solo
from his penis,
performer.
just hanging so it'll stretch. Like he's like spinning around, like it looks like.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
On Super Sunday, you can be the crunch time hero. PorkRinds.com is bringing you a game-changing twist to your big day because it's also Pork Rind Appreciation Day. The crispy, crunchy, crave-worthy snack you love deserves its moment. PorkRinds.com is celebrating by giving you a chance to win tickets to the 2026 big game in Santa Clara. Enter at PorkRinds.com and become your own crunch time hero. This Super Sunday, make sure your snack game is on point. Celebrate Pork Rind Appreciation Day. Get in on the action at PorkRinds.com.
This sandwich is not just spicy, it's flavorful. Hi, this is Patayo. And this is Elsa. And a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich is that spicy kick. Because the spice comes in at just the right moment. Oh, no. A little thing I love is that cilantro lime sauce. It's a fun blend of zesty and bold. That's what really makes me happy. Are you going to eat all your fries?
Order a Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich and a Diet Dr. Pepper on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number Limited Edition Smart Bed. Plus free home delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle here for the Golf Club of Texas. I absolutely love the Golf Club of Texas. They've made so many improvements to the golf course, from brand new cart paths to resodding the greens and fairways. You might think it's a private club, but it's not. It's open to the public 7 days a week. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, you know where it is, right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Being arrested is embarrassing, humiliating, and potentially life-changing. If you want to rewrite the script on the worst night of your life, then you're going to need a stable of aggressive and skilled attorneys. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, Attorneys at Law. We are here to get your life and reputation back. Visit TexasArrest.com or call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. As a former major crimes prosecutor, I've seen almost every type of arrest scenario play out, from small degree drug accusations to death penalty capital murders. I've handled almost every type of case the state of Texas can charge you with. At Barton & Associates, we know how to flip the script and get your life back on track. Call us at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit us at TexasArrest.com. That's TexasArrest.com. Barton & Associates, we are here to get your life and reputation back.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
M-Sculpt NEO is a non-invasive, muscle-building, fat-burning procedure with no downtime, like doing 20,000 crunches in 30 minutes. Call Dr. Connie Hires Plastic Surgery and Med Spa, 210-494-8446, or findyourbeautiful.com.
It is exactly where we want to be. Live from the AA Best Bell Bonds Radio Row in New Orleans, with coverage leading up to Sunday's big game. It's The Blitz with Jason Minix and Joe Reinagle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome back to the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage continues. Now joined by the Terminator, Will Anderson Jr. here on the Blitz. What's going on, man?
Nothing much. Thank you for having me.
It's an incredible year for you. 2 years in the league now. What's the transition been like for you, year one to year two?
Yeah, it's been fun, man. It's been great. I think going into my second year, I just had a more sense of freedom that I can play with and, peace that I can play with. And I'm like, okay, I know how to do this now. Like, I can make it fun now. You can go back to being your normal self. And Coach Ryans and, my D-line coach, Coach Rod, they've been amazing for me, man, and just speaking life into me and giving me so much confidence to go out and do what I need to do.
Will, you guys, I know you had your struggles throughout the year, but seemed like you were playing your best football when the playoffs got here.
Most definitely.
And I tell you what, that game against Kansas City, I mean, you guys, you were right there. But did you feel that way? You guys were playing your best football heading into the postseason?
I most definitely believe that. I didn't want to stop playing because I felt like we was just getting to where we needed to be. And at that time, that's what you have to do. And I think just for us, it's like, how can we separate ourselves? We have to be just execute when it just comes down to the wire. Like, all 4 quarters, how locked in can we be on our job? And I think that's how we get over this hump, man.
When you think about as great as everything went your rookie year, you come in, you and CJ, D'Amico Ryans, and I don't know what your impressions of the Texans were before you were drafted to them, but I mean, those were some dark years there for a while, and D'Amico gets hired in a new energy with that organization and the immediate success. This year, at least offensively, it seemed a little clunky, although defensively, you guys were right there. Was it tough watching the one side of the ball struggle a little bit, knowing you guys were doing what you needed to?
Man, we're all in this together. You know what I'm saying? And I think one thing that helped my mindset and what matured me so much going into this was talking to Coach Saban. And I asked him before I left, I said, Coach Saban, like, why do you do this? Like, what keeps you going? And he was saying that the challenge of football is what keeps him going. He said every year it looks different. Every year you're not going to go 15-0. Every year you're not going to go 14 in this. Every year you're not going to win as many games as you want to. And that's why I love the challenge, because every year is going to look different. And for me, I felt like that. I was like, bro, it's just a challenge, bro. It's our process. And if we let people interfere with our process, that's when we start losing who we are. We start losing our identity. But if we love our process and we know we're going to have some up and down sometimes, we're going to hit a wall sometimes, like we might lose a game, but if we continue just to stick to our foundation of what Coach D'Amico has put in place for everything, we're going to be just fine. And I think we did a really good job of that this year.
You know, Will, coming from Alabama, big-time program, obviously, but coming to the NFL, was there anything that surprised you about the jump from college to the NFL?
Not really. I feel like we were so prepared at Alabama, kind of like when we got to the league, it was just kind of like picking it back up where we left off at. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just trying to get the culture. You know what I'm saying? I think the culture in the league is different than the culture in college a little bit. And, you know, guys from Alabama, we're like, no, we got to be this way. It got to be like that. So that's sometimes I be having to say, okay, we'll pump down. These guys may not know. But it's fun, man. You get to be around a different group of guys all the time and get to hear why guys play football, and why they do it. And, you know, ultimately the main goal is to win the Super Bowl.
Will Anderson Jr. here on the Blitz, of course, with the Houston Texans. I want to go back and talk a little Alabama.
Yeah.
Playing for Nick Saban. And you hear there's the persona that you see, the coach guy, you hear stories, and now you see him as the TV guy. Anything he does on television surprise you?
Not at all. I was just on another guy, like the way, because me and Coach Saban actually had a really great relationship, especially my last year. After my sophomore year, going into my junior year, he had a ton of respect for me. Like whatever I needed, Will, come into my office, I need to talk to you, like all those type of things. And I got to see him in person, like live with it, like joke around. And I remember one time I had got a low ankle thing, and I was missing fourth quarter. And he looked at me, he laughed. He said, how long does a low ankle sprain take? Damn it, I can get a low ankle sprain, and I'll be out here right now doing it. And he was laughing about it the whole time. But that's just who he is, man. And I think a lot of people don't get to see that because he's very passionate about ball. And when he's locked in, and that's what separates him.
Well, and that's a success, right?
Yeah.
I mean, was he the type of guy, though, that you just wanted to play hard for?
Always, because he believed in you guys so much, and he made sure that, like, no matter what was the outcome of the game, no matter how the game may be going, I believe in you guys 100%. But he held us to a standard that we were chasing every day because we loved that standard, and we wanted to be a part of that standard that he had set for the team.
You think about your timing. You just missed out on all the NIL stuff. At Alabama, 5-star backing up a 5-star. The third string was probably a 5-star, maybe a 4-star, and you guys just went through it. Now, I'm not starting. I'm hitting the portal, and I'm getting the hell out. Do you like the way college football has changed?
I see it from two ways. My mindset doesn't like it because of my mentality and who I am and how hard I work. I don't like it because I'm a firm believer in hard work. I'm a firm believer in if you want something, you have to go get it. You have to go earn it. But I also am a firm believer in we put so much hard work into these universities. We should put so much hard work into this game that we love to play that I think that we should deserve some compensation for it. Compensation for it. So I see it from both hands. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't be mad at a guy who's taking money and want to help his family and get his family in a better living situation. You know what I'm saying? And I can't be mad at a guy who, you know, I may not rock with this coach. It's probably not a good chance. I'm probably not going to play. And they go somewhere else. So I just kind of see it. It just depends on what your situation is.
All right, Will, what's it going to take? And you guys, the future's bright, I think, for the Texans. When we've seen that, a lot of good players, a lot of young players, to get them to Santa Clara next year for this big game.
As players, I'm not going to even talk about coaches and anything like that. As players, how are we showing up? How are we sacrificing our time? what more are we giving to the game that we say we love? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's going to be my challenge. Like, how much more do we have to give in order to us to get past this hump, in order to us to win more games, in order to us to reach the standard that we want to reach?
Will, who do you reach out to that's been in the league, been to the Super Bowl, to get advice from?
I just met Michael Strahan last night, and I will most definitely be talking to him more. I grew up watching him. I grew up watching this game, man. He's fantastic. So that's one guy that I'm really going to lean on. But J.J. Watt has been an absolute, great role model for me, and talking to him and his words of advice, those are, guys that I really like, man. And J.J., him being from, Houston, him just telling me, Will, I can hope that you can take Houston to a place that I never could. It just means a lot for me. So that's somebody I lean on a lot.
You ever talk to other guys and other teams? Micah Parsons, for example.
I talked to Myles Garrett. Yeah, Myles are really
Myles
close.
Garrett.
That's my big bro. I love Myles Garrett, man, and he's been super great for me. He taught me a lot. Just going into my second year, I got a chance to work with him. I'm going to do some more work with him, but just how to take care of my body, man. How to play the game the right way in a different sense of playing different things and stuff like that. He's been a really good help for my game.
When you think about some of the people you mentioned, and like a J.J. Watt, we know how hard he worked and the effort that he put into the game.
Yeah.
You're that way.
Yeah.
Not everybody is. How do you, as a teammate, do you get pissed off when you see a guy not putting in that work, or do you go in there and make that guy work a little bit harder?
It's a way of doing it. You know what I'm saying? You pull a guy to the side and you tell him, in the NFL, it's a little differently. You know what I'm saying? But you can speak very freely, and we have spoke very freely in our locker room and in our team meetings about stuff. And I'm very passionate about it. And sometimes I have to control my feelings because I get super fired up. And, the guys, they respect me enough. They know that I'm not a bull. What I do on the field is what I'm going to do throughout the week. What I prepare is going to show up on Sunday. So, man, my thing is I just want the best for everybody in the building. I want us to all reach our common goal, which is the Super Bowl.
And players know that, right? Because they see how hard you work. They see how you perform on the field. So if you're doing it right and you're having those results, they're going to follow you.
Most definitely. I think that's why I take so much pride wearing that C on my chest as a second-year guy, man. Not a lot of second-year guys or first-year guys get to wear the C on their chest. So, I really stand in that proudly, knowing, they chose you to be a captain for a reason. Keep being you. You don't have to do anything extra, man. You just have to be Will Anderson Jr.
Will and Will Anderson Jr., the Terminator, 6'4", ain't nobody going to mess with you, right? Let's be honest. I'm pulling you aside. They're going to listen, right? Second-year guy or not, because your personality and what you bring. You and CJ coming in together, along with D'Amico Ryans, who was that kind of guy when he was playing for the Houston Texans. The three of you seem to have that instant connection. What's it like for you guys, not necessarily always in the locker room or on the field, but away from football when you guys are living life, being social, or do you have that kind of relationship?
Yeah, most definitely. And that's why I love Coach Ryan so much because, you hear all this talk about it's the NFL, coaches can't do this, it's a business. And I was telling my coach, I was like, Coach, my coach, he's a college coach. He came from Miami. He came here. And I'm like, we have to move away from that. We all have a common goal, which is the Super Bowl. We have to get away from, I don't know how long I'm going to be here, all that type of talk. Why are you here? What type of legacy are you leaving? Why are you here? How you build relationships with the people in this building? Why are you here? How you pointed to your coach? How you pointed to your player? And that's what I love about this coaching staff so much because it's not that we have to be kumbaya. It's not that we have to let our kids play with each other. It's about we have one goal, and I want to know why you're doing it. I want to build this relationship with you. And Coach Ryan's had me and CJ over his house this offseason for dinner and whatever like that. And that just gives us a much more better relationship off the field for when we on the field, we know, I can go to war for this guy. I've been to this guy's house. I know what he's about. We have a relationship. That's my brother. That's my coach. How can we continue to make this thing better?
I do. You got to tell me because I'll never know. What's it feel like to sack a quarterback?
Man, it's the best feeling in the world, man. I don't care what nobody say. I did a little thing I was telling them. It just brings me so much joy. But as a defensive end, you can go out there and get strapped all game. You get that one sack, you had the best game of your life. But that's just how good it feels.
Who's the toughest to bring down?
Lamar Jackson, man. Lamar Jackson. He's light. He's like a cheetah out there, man. He's like a little gazelle. You trying to go hunt him, man. You cannot catch him for nothing.
What's the one sack that you've had where when you hit that guy, I don't know if he made a weird noise or whatever, you got him. But what's the one sack when you like, man, you're telling stories with the guys, you get around, you're telling war stories. I hit this. Who's that? Tell us the story.
Probably Tua. Probably Tua when I had a strip sack against him in the last game we just played him when I came from behind and I hit him so hard. I feel like I can hear him say, oh, like, dang. But Tua's my guy, though. I love Tua, man. He's fantastic, man. But I enjoy what I do, man. It brings me so much thrill, and it keeps me, like, on edge, man, that I just want more and more and more of it.
No doubt. And the talent level, I mean, obviously you played in the SEC, but it's a step up, isn't it? I mean, everybody's pretty good.
Everybody's pretty good, and that's what I tell people all the time. I'm like, bro, like, it's not about a team's record. It's not about where this team is at. These guys get paid just like you. This is what we dream of as little kids going into this, man. And the guys you're going against, he's going to be a top guy in his position. He's going to be good just like you.
Will Anderson Jr. here on The Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. You're a fun dude, great personality. You did a little bit of a Saban impersonation. Can you do a D'Amico Ryans?
Haven't mastered it yet.
We'll work on it. Work on it right. We'll work on it now. You got something. I know you got something.
I don't have anything yet.
You got something.
I don't have anything yet.
You got something, man.
Not yet. Not yet.
Free will it, man. You got something.
I don't have anything yet, but I will work on it. In the next song, I got y'all.
All right.
I'm
going to hold you to that.
Is there anybody else on the team that you like to do?
My D-line coach, Rod Wright, he's hilarious, man. When he gets fired up, he's like, I don't know what y'all on today, but I'm gonna come in here with some energy. I don't know if y'all scared or not, but that's how he be talking. It just be so funny, man. And we be joking. He said, Rod be turned up, man, but he's a great coach, man.
And you don't have anything, D'Amico, you can roll
not
out?
Yet,
not yet. Are you sure?
I promise you.
All right, because there's peanut butter involved for you here if you're able to do that, because you're rolling around with Jif to go. So, I mean, you got to earn the peanut butter and give us a D'Amico Ryans.
I got you. Next time,
Next time. Tell us a little bit what you're doing with Jif.
Yeah, man, it's awesome, man. A billion people eat, chicken wings on Super Bowl every year. And, I'm teaming up with Jif to save the celery. And what better way to save your celery than with some Jif peanut butter, man? So, y'all got some celery.
Well, I mean, you're a pro athlete. Look at us.
Yeah.
Mixing in a sit-up or a salad or something green. If there's celery there, it better have some peanut butter on it or I ain't eating it, right? You know how that goes.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. We'll appreciate you stopping by, man. This was fun.
Thank you. I thank y'all for having me.
Appreciate it. The Terminator, Will Anderson Jr. from the Houston Texans, my new favorite Houston Texans player.
I tell you what, he was a lot of fun. And you talk about a great personality. This guy is just excited. He loves the game of football, and that's why he's so good at it. There are players that love football, then there are players that really love football. And Will Anderson Jr. is one of those guys that really loves the game.
And obviously entertaining, fun, dominant. And second-year guy, captain, when he's talking about pulling people aside, it's funny because, he brings up J.J. Watt. We all knew J.J. Watt was working out because he put it on Instagram, right? And he's got that same kind of work ethic. My friends that cover the Texans regularly for the radio stations and media down in Houston, Will Anderson is that go-to guy because he is so engaging and he's honest. He's honest with his answers when things aren't right, although to a degree keeps it in-house, the politically correct coach speak type answers. But overall, I mean, JJ told him, and he's going to be a part of going places that JJ couldn't get there.
Yeah,
for a variety of reasons.
Well, yeah, I think so. And I think this Houston team is developing into a team that's certainly going to be a force to be reckoned with for several years to come with the way C.J. Stroud is playing with some of their other young players. Yeah, they're going to be tough. And Will Anderson's only going to get better. I mean, this guy's going to get better, and he's going to be one of those guys that he's going to be a household name. Some respects he is already, but he'll be a J.J. Watt type where everybody knows his name and everybody knows what he does.
Well, and you look at, like I see one of the comments on YouTube, hopefully next year more Houston player interviews. Will Anderson is the only Houston player that I've seen rolling around Radio Row.
That's absolutely true.
And we worked our ass off to get that one too. I mean, it's interesting. It's Radio Row's an interesting place, and obviously he's working with Jiff. Some of these players, they're getting paid to be on Radio Row and do different products. I mean, what's happening, if you're watching on YouTube right behind us over at the Bounty place where you see the wingman, Bounty does wings and they give out paper towels. So you're eating wings. They've got that connect. Nick Chubb is doing a video shoot over there right now. He's getting paid by Bounty to do that. I mean, and I think part of it too, when you look at Houston players, and trust me, this is not a knock on Houston players, but for these companies to invest that kind of money, they got to have players that have the personality and the popularity and then the want to. CJ Stroud could make a lot of money walking around Radio Row if he wanted to.
Absolutely.
Dak Prescott this year didn't do anything that I saw on Radio Row. In years past, we've seen him do stuff with like Sleep Number. But I know Dak is in New Orleans, but I haven't seen him on Radio Row. The want to this year, $60 million contract from Jerry.
I guess you don't have to, right?
Yeah, the need certainly isn't there.
Well, Micah's here.
And Micah's been all over the place. In fact, hosting a podcast at a venue in New Orleans right now. Not even on Radio Row. Originally, it was going to be on Radio Row, and then somebody said, we could probably sell a whole bunch of tickets and take this somewhere.
And they did.
But the Texans need guys with personality like Will Anderson as well, and then the want to come to Radio Row and do this kind of stuff.
It's been interesting to see some of the players here. We saw Jordan Love yesterday rolling around. He was here, and this wingman Bounty, they've had a bunch of players that just come in, they do that, and then they get out. So it's not that they're sticking around here all day. They do what they have to do, and then they get out of here.
And some of the bigger names, they'll only do the national shows.
Exactly,
like you'll see somebody come in and do Kay Adams and Pat McAfee and Pro Football Talk, and they're out. They're in the building for an hour. Like Lawrence Taylor was here yesterday, and I know his booker, his handler, pretty well, and she said, he's doing 4 interviews. He will be here for 1 hour.
Yeah.
12 minutes at each spot and 3 minutes in between, and that dude was out.
Yeah.
That's how it goes sometimes.
That's the way it goes. But it's fun, man. It really is fun, and it's just where the NFL comes together, and a lot of these guys are just here to have fun, right? They're doing what they have to do, and then they're out on the town and having fun and kicking back from a long football season. So it's a great, great place to come. I really enjoy coming to Radio Row.
Our final hour of our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage from New Orleans continues. Coming up here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's Friday night, right? So you probably don't want to cook. Why do that? Have some fun on a Friday night. Order pizza. Have some pizza, and I got the best place for you. It's Round Table Pizza. Their pizza is fantastic. In fact, they've got signature ingredients like made from scratch dough, 3-cheese blend, toppings that actually come all the way to the edge. Most pizzas have a little handle on them. It has the handle, but the toppings are all the way to the edge. It's fantastic. I love the way they do their pizza, and they've got a new one for you to try right now. Pepperoni, grilled chicken, and bacon pizza. It's available only for a limited time, but you can get a large pizza for only $19.99 at participating locations. Plus, you can pair that with some of their irresistible shareables like crispy mozzarella sticks, spicy jalapeno poppers, or golden potato wedges. It is the perfect bite to complement your meal. If you want to find the nearest location, or if you want to order a pizza for pickup or delivery, head to roundtablepizza.com. Again, that is roundtablepizza.com.
When you think San Antonio sports, think 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the Cowboys. KTFM Floresville and SASportsStar.com.
What's up, football fans? Are you excited for the big game and ready to get in on the action? Look Nothos, KOSTOS, to get up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your first bet loses. Be sure to lock in your picks on this year's big game in New Orleans with the sportsbook born in Vegas. Earn MGM rewards points from your bets, take advantage of offers found nowhere else, and look out for surprise rewards dropping in your account all year. There's no better place to enjoy the big game than BetMGM. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age and older. This specific promotional offer is not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
When life changes fast, you need a lawyer who's been there. AJ here for the Hicks Law Firm. Attorney John Hicks offers unique experience as a veteran and first responder to give you a strategic, results-driven approach. Facing divorce, child custody battle, or a complex family dispute, the Hicks Law Firm offers flat fee representation from beginning to end, so you know exactly what to expect with no surprises. Visit jhickslawfirm.com for a free consultation. That's jhickslawfirm.com, a local law firm with the national resources you need to win. The Hicks Law Firm.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603, 800-505-9603.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
It was a good game.
It was a good game. It really was fun to watch.
But it's funny hearing JD's comments.
At some point, somebody pointed at another player, and that's a penalty.
He didn't flip him off. He didn't call his mother a name.
He knocked him 6 feet down the field and then pointed at him. That's taunting.
Football is gay.
Okay,
I'm just saying.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Looking to sculpt, tighten, or refresh? Dr. Connie Hires Plastic Surgery and Med Spa does it all. Awake lipo, tummy tucks, fat reduction, microneedling, and more.
Thinking about implants for your wife? Dr. Hires specializes in breast augmentation for women and reductions for both men and women. Get the results you want with expert care. Call 210-494-8446 or go to findyourbeautiful.com to start your transformation today. Use code word BLITZ for exclusive discounts.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Quite the story here. The SEC announced $808 million in profits last year. 16 schools will be splitting $52.6 million apiece. That is nice. Well, the NFL honors announce their awards. It is Josh Allen. He's the NFL MVP. Saquon Barkley didn't get it, but he is Offensive Player of the Year. Broncos cornerback Patrick Surtain, Defensive Player of the Year.
This Sports Center update brought to you by Twin Peaks.
I like this kind of party. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage from New Orleans is brought to you in part by Flight by Yuengling, Circa Las Vegas, Smokey Mo's Barbecue, Synergenx Testosterone and Weight Loss, and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Along with Joe Reinagel, I'm Jason Minix. In New Orleans, our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage continues. With so much going on, want to thank all our great sponsors for a great week. Circa Las Vegas, Synergenx, Smokey Mo's Barbecue and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. And again, porkrinds.com. You can go there. They've got an addicting game on there, but you can register to win tickets to next year's Super Bowl. And if you win those, let us know, and we might get you into Radio Row.
And not only that, I mean, it's National Pork Rind Appreciation Day.
It is.
On Sunday.
Yes.
So there you go. Stock up.
There will be pork rinds at my place on Sunday. I can promise you that.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to have them.
We
Salt
do.
and black pepper. It's the ones I like.
I like the pasilla chili cheese.
Yeah, well, those are good too. But if I'm picking one,
You know, as we talk about snacks and food, you know, 504, my wife might be listening, maybe. We've been talking about these cookies they have here.
Right.
These chocolate-covered Oreos that are $2.50 each here from this little bakery spot in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Just down the street from Lambeau, they tell me. These cookies are addicting and they're crack. Well, we talked about it earlier in the show. And old Ben Briseno sent me a screenshot of H-E-B Bakery chocolate-dipped Oreo cookies. An 8-count for $4.48.
An 8-count?
An 8-count. So it's H-E-B might have some knockoff of this spot in Wisconsin. Now, I don't know if the chocolate's is good because these chocolate-covered Oreos are just stupid incredible.
Well, yeah, those are good, but I mean, those are not going to be the same. Eloy Tiarina sent a screenshot of some bakery downtown or somewhere in San Antonio that are chocolate-covered Oreos and all decorated up and all that stuff. $12.99 for 4 of them.
$2.50 each. Well,
what's
look,
going on with cookie prices?
Don't bring up food prices anywhere. But I mean, when you I mean, so $2.50 is not bad compared to the ones in San Antonio.
Well, yeah. $10 versus 13.
Math is hard.
Yeah, $10 for $2.50 a piece for 4 of them.
Uh-huh.
That's $10.
It is.
What's so funny then? I don't get it.
It's math.
Yeah.
They said there'd be no math in this job.
No, exactly.
That's why you go the liberal arts route, because there's no math.
So
I just have to talk.
That's
and
it.
Count by 7.
Yes.
I can do that.
I can do that as well.
I can do that.
I just don't get these. I mean, they're good. But $2.50.
H-E-B has 8 for $4.50.
Come
$4.48.
Yeah.
They might not be as good, but for $5 cheaper, it's going to be just as good. Right?
Yeah, I guess.
So we'll see. I'd never seen chocolate covered Oreos before. So
I hadn't either.
That's pretty damn incredible.
See, I've got this picture up on my computer screen now. That's what Eloy
I
sent us.
that.
Yeah. So they're pretty. Valentine's kind of thing, right?
Look,
but
there's art involved in that. I mean, all these people in Green Bay did was put that ugly Packer logo on there.
Still, it's $10 for 4 of them in Green Bay. That's ridiculous.
Well, next time I'm in Green Bay, I'll spend the $10 to get those fresh from the bakery.
You're only going to want 4? So how many cookies are in a thing of Oreos? I'm just curious.
A lot more than 4. I've never actually counted.
I'm curious. What about 20? I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure if you Google imaged, it would probably tell you how many's in a pack.
I'm going to here. How many cookies?
Here we go. If we had on those fancy glasses they have over here from Meta, you could just ask Meta. We were trying on these Ray-Bans, regular glasses. You might have seen them. But you wear these glasses and you say, hey, Meta, and then AI, ask a question. AI gives you the answer. You can listen to music on them, answer your calls, take pictures. I mean, bizarre, but kind of cool, too.
Yeah.
So if you were wearing the glasses, you could ask that.
I could have, and I found it a lot quicker. Now, a regular pack of Oreos.
You realize Google is asking Meta? You just wouldn't have had to type.
Well,
I don't know if it's faster.
I don't have
But go ahead, sir.
It doesn't matter. 30 cookies.
30 cookies.
Okay, so the chocolate-covered ones are a little fatter, right? So that you couldn't say you could probably put 20 in there. And
say
26. So you're looking at almost $50, right? About $50.
Look, man, Oreos are great. I didn't know that they could be made better until today. And now all these people have known about these chocolate-covered Oreos for a long time, and nobody bothered to tell us. That pisses me off. You guys have been keeping a secret.
Well, yeah. Leave it to the Packer people to do it. Why did they come up with it?
I don't think they did. I mean, I don't know that they originated this. They just perfected it. I mean, that place in San Antonio, but there was art involved there. So you're paying for time and creativity. HEB, they got a little icing on it. I don't know if that's necessary, but, there's a little effort there. So it's going to cost you more. And HEB, they tell me here everything's better. So I'm going to assume that these are going to be better than those.
Well, no offense to HEB, our friends there, but those are like generic Oreos. They can't be the real Oreos.
What do you mean generic
Oreos? Generic Oreos. They're like brand X.
No, they can't. It can't say chocolate dipped Oreo cookies and then throw in the generic Oreos.
Well, couldn't you have Oreo cookies though? I mean, there's generic Oreos, and they suck.
But they're not called Oreos.
That's not the cookie?
Well, if they're generic Oreos.
Well,
but they're not. They can't use the Oreos name on the generic packaging. It's
Well, all I know is I won't be buying them. They're just that simple.
No, but if Maggie's listening, she could go buy them for you, and you won't say anything except "Thank you, dear."
Well, I would say that, but I'm not. Maggie's smarter than that.
You guys are idiots.
We are.
Who the hell was that? That's a new voice.
That's an old voice. That's old Frank Alosa.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
and he called you an idiot.
Like, who the hell's that?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
You guys are idiots.
Yeah. Old Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
You think I'm an idiot?
Yeah. Oh, good Lord.
Oh, my goodness.
Let's talk about a team that isn't playing on a Sunday in the Super Bowl. John Machota from The Athletic joins us next as we continue from Radio Row in New Orleans, getting ready for the big game. And coming up on Sunday, a lot of food, a lot of appetizers, but the best app for the big game party is on your phone. It's called Underdog, and it is available to play in the great state of Texas. The best place to cash in on all your takes during the big game and your chance to win cash money playing the Pick'em game. And the Pick'em game is so much fun, where you create your own pick'em entry by choosing higher or lower on predicted stats: yards, touchdowns, interceptions, tackles, sacks, catches. You think about like Devontae Smith. Is he going to go for over 100? He does typically against Kansas City. What about Saquon, Mahomes, Travis Kelce? Create your entry and have fun. If you think a player is going to be higher or lower on that stat, you can cook up your entry there for a shot to win cash prizes. Underdog has what they call Underdog Rescues. You can get your money back and receive a promo if an early injury causes your entry to lose. That's fantastic. It saved me a couple of times this year. And Underdog's double flex option, you can take 2 L's and still turn that into a W. Underdog is the best place to play Pick'em. Download the Underdog app, sign up with promo code STAR, deposit now, and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Again, at promo code STAR. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, promo code STAR at Underdog.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for Super Bowl 59.
I like this kind of party.
The Philadelphia Eagles face the Kansas City Chiefs Sunday at 5:30. The Chiefs, led by MVP quarterback Patrick Mahomes, aims for an unprecedented third consecutive Super Bowl victory, a feat never achieved in NFL history. Meanwhile, the Eagles, with a formidable defense and a dynamic offense, are ready to challenge the reigning champions. Don't miss a moment of this historic matchup, presented locally by Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. Sunday at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for Super Bowl 59.
If you're having any issues at your house with your plumbing, your AC, your heater, there is one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. They're available for you 24/7. Experts in worst-case scenarios. Let's say on Super Sunday, you're having a party at the house. Your toilet's working overtime, and you need to call a plumber. They might not be happy about it, but they're going to miss the game, but they're going to get out there and make sure you are taken care of, because that is what they do. Residential, commercial, their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission, sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A+ ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And at Quartermoon, they are green certified. 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
Rocks Discount Vitamins and More wants to thank God and San Antonio for making Rocks the king of supplements. Are you losing weight, building muscle, or just getting healthy? Rocks has you covered. Weight loss and muscle building packages starting at just $75. Plus, get a free in-body scan in 15 seconds with the In-Body 270 analysis. Start tracking your results today. The pros at Rocks know their products, how they work, and what's best for your health and fitness goals. Call 210-342-7625 or visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com.
Looking to sculpt, tighten, or refresh? Dr. Connie Hires Plastic Surgery and Med Spa does it all. Awake lipo, tummy tucks, fat reduction, microneedling, and more.
Thinking about implants for your wife? Dr. Hires specializes in breast augmentation for women and reductions for both men and women. Get the results you want with expert care. Call 210-494-8446 or go to findyourbeautiful.com to start your transformation today. Use code word BLITZ for exclusive discounts. Hey guys, Jason Minix here from the Blitz. Does it feel like you're lacking energy, always moody, or your libido isn't what it used to be? It could be caused by low testosterone. Go get tested. I recommend the providers at Synergenx Testosterone and Weight Loss. Their personalized TRT goes beyond standard treatments. They also have affordable GLP-1 weight loss options. And for current patients, Synergenx offers a $150 referral credit. Get started. Book your appointment at synergenxhealth.com. SYNERGENX health.com.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson, and I've represented folks here in San Antonio injured by negligent drivers for more than 30 years. If you or a family member has been seriously injured, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400. I've heard from many of my clients that after they were involved in a collision, they would get phone calls asking them to hire an attorney. This is highly irregular and probably illegal. Any attorney that is trying to contact you either directly or through a marketing company is not the kind of attorney that you should trust with such a serious matter. Quite frankly, it's creepy. If you call me, we will speak directly. If you hire me, it will be after you and I have talked. I will explain what I can do for you, and you can decide what you would like me to do next. The phone call and the consultation are free. Getting a smart result requires that you make smart decisions along the way. And that's my job, to help you and your family make smart decisions. And that's based on more than 30 years of experience. If you've been injured in an accident, call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400, or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text HOT to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text HOT to 42424. That's HOT to 42424.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Live from New Orleans, it's the Blitz, broadcasting from the AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row. Ahead of Sunday's game, here's Jason Minix and Joe Reinagle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. In New Orleans on a Super Bowl Radio Row, let's talk some Cowboys with John Machota from The Athletic, joining us on the Buyers Barricades guest line. John, last night at Honors, NFL Honors, Jerry was talking about playing this weekend, and as I sit here and I see a banner, big Super Bowl logo with the Eagles on it and a big Super Bowl logo with the Chiefs on it, it just feels like the Cowboys are so far away from that based off of last year. But 2 years ago, we thought that was a legitimate Super Bowl team. Jerry said he wasn't rebuilding, he was reloading. It's been a couple of weeks. Has your opinion on the season or the outlook changed going into next year or the start of the offseason?
Not really. I mean, I will say, it's hard to compare anyone to the Chiefs just because, they have Michael Jordan right now. It's tough to sit there and try and match how you're going to, do what they've put together. It's very difficult to do. But I don't think that it would be that difficult for them to catch the Eagles. But what they'd have to do is they would have to be very successful in this year's draft. I mean, they would have to hit on probably 3 of their top 5 picks. They would have to get some contributors from. And I think much like the previous season, some of the stuff they did was aided by the fact that they did do some things in the offseason. They did trade for Stephon Gilmore. They did trade for Brandon Cooks. They did a better job filling holes than it did this past year. And so we would have to see more activity from them. So if you can show me that, I can see a team that, hey, they bounce back and don't have as many health issues as they did, this past season, particularly with obviously Dak and Micah and some of the top guys. Oh, I can see where they could be, back to being one of the better teams in the league. But that stuff has to be done. We have to see that. As they sit here right now, you can't have another draft like the last 2. You just can't. If you're going to be just draft and develop, it's going to have to be better than that in this class.
I agree with that, John. It's funny because we've been able to talk to a lot of people here on Radio Row, a lot of ex-Cowboys who obviously are very disappointed and critical of what's going on there in Dallas. And one in particular, it might have been Chris Canty, was talking about the 4th-round draft pick. He thinks that the Cowboys, obviously with Trey Lance and now Jonathan Mingo, that they're just throwing away 4th-round picks when they could use those to do better. You think that's a fair criticism?
It absolutely is. Me personally, I really don't. I didn't have a big issue, and I still don't because I hate going back and then trying to change the way I felt. I like to try and stay consistent with the way I felt at the time. I didn't hate the Trey Lance move just because I did think at that time, some uncertainty that it wasn't going to be this 100% that Dak was back. I thought it was probably 75, 80% chance he was back. But I didn't absolutely hate that just because with Mike McCarthy as the head coach, he is a quarterback guru, quarterback type guy. And then just the fact that, hey, this team did find their last 2 franchise quarterbacks in an undrafted guy like Tony Romo and a 4th-round pick in Dak. So I didn't absolutely hate that. Now, you see the results and seeing what you got out of Trey Lance, and I get why people hate that now, but I didn't hate that in the moment. I never liked the Jonathan Mingo deal. That didn't make a ton of sense to me at all. Now, maybe he goes in camp and he ends up being, real Dak friendly, as Jerry liked to say after they made the move. And we just never really got to see it happen because after they made the move, Dak got hurt. But, I mean, you trade a 4th-round pick, you're going to need to get something out of Jonathan Mingo. He can't just be your 4th or 5th best receiver. I mean, this has to be your 2nd or 3rd guy. And I don't know that anybody thinks that right now.
No, in fact, Chris Canty from ESPN and former Cowboy was talking about Mingo in particular with some of the offseason moves. And, it's interesting. I mean, it's been forever since the Cowboys have been in this game. And, when you're on Radio Row, the legends, generally pretty supportive, sometimes critical. Like Emmett's been critical the last several years, or maybe just upset that the way things ended. But, whether it was Moose or Emmett that we had on, Darren Woodson, everybody seems to kind of be at a loss. why the Cowboys are making the decisions they are making. And that's unusual for some of those alumni not to be even remotely supportive from like that team in the locker room aspect that you would expect. Like we're talking good about the family when we're talking to the public.
Yeah, no, for sure. I get where they're coming from, because where the franchise is kind of going right now, it's not even the you don't even really have the anger. You know, like obviously right now being in Dallas, I mean, the anger is just so obvious from Dallas Mavericks fans. You don't even really have the anger from Cowboys fans. It's almost like you can just see the apathy setting in. And I think that's what will happen this season. If this season starts rolling the way last season did, that's what you're going to have. You're going to have people that just kind of are like, yeah, I'm good. I don't really need to go to the games. I really don't even care about watching them right now. Like when I see changes and things like that, I'll know and I'll be interested then. But that's the thing, and that's a fear of Jerry's, obviously, would be to have apathy. But that's setting in. And when you hear those former players talk like that, that's a big sign of it too, where they're not even being like very hardcore vocal about, oh, they made this mistake here and they made this mistake there. It's like almost to a sense like almost they're even losing interest, and that's something you just would never expect from a franchise like the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, it's tough. It really is. It's entertaining for us, John. I'll tell you that, just being out here and listening to it. But it is interesting, the apathy, as you put it. I want to talk to you about Micah Parsons. He said some things this week. Number one, that even Derrick Henry wouldn't have been able to help them. And I thought that was an odd comment. Weird. What is your thought on something like that? He seems frustrated.
Yeah, my thing was just the way that season was going. It just didn't. It seemed like there was kind of, in a way, a hangover from that Packers game, where it was just like it just didn't even seem like it had the same juice it did the 3 previous seasons when they won the 12 games in each of those 3 seasons. It seemed like it was just like almost going through the motions a little bit. Like, hey, we're going to lose some games, but we'll win some, and we'll kind of be there, come December, and then we'll make our push then, or whatever. And then the injuries set in. And so, because I think about it, because I think of when Dak went down, there was a time where I started to look back, and I'm like, all right, well, let's say he doesn't go down. How many more wins does this team really have? And I couldn't come up with more than maybe 1 or 2 tops. And so that's where I can kind of agree with Micah, where it's just like, now if Derrick Henry's healthy at the beginning of the season and he's the Derrick Henry that we've seen and clearly was this year, then I do think that he's worth another win or 2. And then all of a sudden now I think that they're at least a wild card team, and maybe you get hot at the right time. But there was just something about this team that even without the injuries didn't look like it was heading in a good direction, 2-3 weeks in the season, particularly with just the way that they were getting blown out at home. And so that's why I thought for sure that a coaching change had to happen, because how else are you changing anything out? I just didn't think that Brian Schottenheimer would be the coach that they went after. I thought they would do kind of a we're gutting everything. We're going to change things around. But Jerry didn't want to do that. He wanted to have some continuity off of what they've done the previous 3-4 years. So we'll see how it works out. But I do think if they had Derrick Henry, though, they would have been a little bit better. But I don't look at them as like, oh, well, yeah, if they had Henry, they'd be doing what the Eagles are doing right now with Barkley. No, I don't see that at all.
I don't know that Derrick Henry would have had the same season he had in Baltimore, but maybe the Cowboys had a better season because they had a real run game. And, that's one thing that, I kind of expect the Cowboys, okay, we tried running back by committee with 2 guys that didn't have a quarter tank between them and Rico. They'll address running back for sure this year. But even like Emmitt Smith said, they don't need to draft Ashton Genty in the first round. He said not a knock on Ashton, but, with all the other issues this team has, he essentially said they got to fix some other stuff before you bring in a running back, or that running back, Ashton, wouldn't be successful.
I can get behind some of that. Now, I will say that, obviously a new offensive coordinator, there's a new offensive line coach. So there probably will be some changes with the way things are done on the offensive line. But I just see if you're getting a guy like Genty and he can come in and hit the ground running and can be a star, I just think he could make a lot of impact that affects more than just your running game. And so I'm still in on Genty. I still think if he's there at 12, he makes a ton of sense. Because I do think that here's a good way to I look at their run game. Like you look at what Rico Dowdle did He had a 1,000-yard season. I mean, that's a good season for a running back. But there was just no like real explosiveness to their offense in the run game. I don't even think they had a run over 30 yards. So you got to hit some home runs. You got to do some things in games that can like switch momentum, that can sit there and maybe take a game that you weren't going to win. I think a guy like Genty brings that to you, where all of a sudden you got a real weapon there that the other teams really fear. And I don't think anybody feared the running game this year.
No, I think that's accurate. That's for sure. What about free agency, John? The Cowboys have some free agents and some pretty big names. I mean, everybody's talking about Odigizua as perhaps the biggest one. With Jerry's philosophy, last year he let a lot of guys walk and tried to replace them with younger players. What do you think he does this time around?
Osa Odigizua has got to be number one because they're in so much trouble at defensive tackle if they don't bring him back, unless they were to hit on somebody in the draft or maybe sign somebody in free agency that exceeds whatever they're being paid. But I think having Osa Odigizua around and being in the organization, and I think he is a player that's gotten better over the years. I just think that he and also he's a guy that Micah really likes playing with, and Micah really wants back. And so I'll put it to you this way. If they somehow get a contract extension done with Micah before free agency starts, I just think that's a big sign that they're going to try and be a little bit more active in free agency. And I think if they do that, one of the reasons why Micah would also want them to do it so that they do have a chance to re-sign someone like Osa. And so those are going to be interesting things to watch, because if they just let that Micah contract play out like they have with these other contracts, most notably Dak and CD lately, that's just going to be a really bad look. And that's going to be a sign to me that it's probably just like it's been the last few off seasons, where you're not going to see very much in free agency. And frankly, I don't think fans are going to be too pleased with that.
No, fans won't, and Micah won't. But John, what I find interesting is Micah has said multiple times he would take less money. In fact, he even said he would take less money to go get Myles Garrett. And I've always called BS on that, because the agent's not going to let him, and the Players Association wouldn't. But we had Super Agent Leigh Steinberg on with us, and I asked him, as an agent, when you hear a player say that, and he was like, sometimes you do that because you work for the player, and their goals are different. And some of their goals, it's more about winning. And if the organization is really going to do that, he could see Micah taking less money. And I was kind of surprised to hear that from an agent.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm pretty sure he was the agent that negotiated that Patrick Mahomes contract. And that's the one I always go to whenever anybody talks about the whole, these guys can't take less because of what it means to the rest of Michael Jordan of the NFL took less. I don't care what anybody says. That's a bargain that he's on right now. I mean, again, the times we're in right now, in Dallas right now, all anybody wants to talk about is Luka Doncic and that Supermax he's going to sign. Can you imagine if there was a Supermax in the NFL? If there was a Supermax in the NFL, what's Mahomes getting? 80 million? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not getting 50 like he's getting right now. He is such a bargain for what he provides. And so what's been the backlash to that? I haven't seen any backlash. Dak's got a huge contract. There's probably been at least 5 or 6 quarterbacks that have signed contracts since Patrick Mahomes that are making more than Patrick Mahomes. Like, I don't understand what this backlash was. So if Micah wants to take less, Micah can certainly take less. And it would be fascinating to see, because his agent, David Mulligata, I don't know of any of his clients that have done that. And so it'll be fascinating to see. I mean, that is a possibility. But again, this is the thing. For any of that to happen, I think it has to happen right before free agency, because if they don't do anything with his contract and they don't do anything in free agency, I think that's going to anger Micah. You're not going to see him at OTAs. You're not going to see him at minicamp, and you might not see him at training camp.
Well, and again, he put a caveat on that, John, right? He says, I'll take less money if they go get Myles Garrett.
Well, yeah. Now I think that's a little bit tougher to do, because I think with Myles Garrett, whatever team he goes to, I think it's going to be kind of like what happened with Jimmy Butler, where it's like he also wants to go there because he wants a new deal. He just doesn't want to go to a different team. He wants a team that's also going to pay him. And I just don't know how the Cowboys can work Dak, CD, Micah, Osa, Myles Garrett, and then they have money to fill out the rest of the roster, especially for one of the teams that, has been pretty tight when it comes to the cap compared to most others. So if you told me that a team worked out a way to somehow get that done that left me scratching my head, it'd be one of those teams that's down there right now, and that's the Eagles. Like, they would be the team that would work something out where you'd be like, how did they end up getting Myles Garrett? How did they work that out? There's nothing that Cowboys have shown you over the last 20 years that would make you think that they're the team that's going to pull that off.
John Machota from The Athletic here on the Blitz. Your thoughts, predictions for Super Bowl Sunday?
I just think the Eagles are the better team all the way around. I hate to go against Mahomes because, like I said, I mean, he is the closest thing to Jordan since Jordan. But I just think that the Eagles, I think there's a little pressure on the Chiefs because of the whole three-peat thing. And I kind of go back to, when teams like New England had a chance to go undefeated and then they lose in the Super Bowl to a Giants team that I still scratch my head over. I just think that might add up and work against the Chiefs. And so obviously it's going to be close, but I just think Saquon Barkley is going to be the difference. I think he has like over 150 yards, which is tough to do against that Chief defense. But I think the Eagles win like 27-24.
27-24 says John Machota. Follow him on Twitter at John Machota, at Jon Machota, no H, and subscribe to The Athletic. John, enjoy the football weekend, the last one.
I will. You guys do the same.
Appreciate it. The great John Machota on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com. It's time for us to call our shots. You want to call yours. There is a poll up on our YouTube page at San Antonio Sports Star on YouTube. Just search it. Who's going to win, Chiefs, Eagles? If you want to predict the score, you can do that on YouTube. But you could also do that at sasportstar.com and potentially win $50,000 thanks to Dietz Tractor. So sasportstar.com, where you can do it there, and if you nail the score right, you could win $50K.
If you're not doing it, you're silly. Go do it. Doesn't cost anything, and you might get it right.
Absolutely. And if you want to call in, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776, our final segment from New Orleans coming up here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First, though, if you're thinking about you got that beer gut, you want a stronger core, but you don't want to mix in a sit-up like me, do like me, Joe. We're doing M-Sculpt Neo with Dr. Connie Hires Plastic Surgery and Med Spa. M-Sculpt Neo uses high-intensity energy to build muscle, burn fat, and strengthen your abs. It's the equivalent of doing like 20,000 crunches, but all you do is just lay there and let the deal do its thing. And I don't know about Joe, I kind of take a nap during that 30 minutes.
Absolutely, I take a nap. It's almost like where it's, I don't know, relaxing. It just feels good to have those muscles just flex like they do. Whatever you call it, it works. It's been fantastic. Jason and I both have noticed a difference. We really have. And right now, if you call Dr. Hires, they've got a great deal for February, 15% off the M-Sculpt package, 15% off. Plus, they've got a lot of other specials going on as well for Valentine's. So, girls, if you're tired of your man having a beer gut, get him something. Guys, you want to do something special for your lady?
Oh, I'm so glad
Call
you didn't
Dr.
say if you're tired of your wife's beer gut.
I would never say that.
Thought that's where you were going.
No.
Either way. I mean, it's fantastic. And again, it is a great gift. You have that honest conversation with yourself, however it's going to be. But, confidence starts with feeling great in your own skin. Call Dr. Connie Hires. Mention Blitz when you do. 210-494-8446. 494-8446. Or check out the website, findyourbeautiful.com. Findyourbeautiful.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the big game in the Big Easy.
It's showtime. Let's do it.
And the only local station bringing you exclusive wall-to-wall coverage from New Orleans. All brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. We're live from Radio Row with insider interviews, breaking stories, and all the pregame excitement leading up to the superb hour.
This is exactly where we want to be.
From the biggest names in sports to behind-the-scenes access, we've got it all.
I like this kind of party.
Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage is brought to you in part by Flight by Yuengling, Circa Las Vegas, Smokey Mo's Barbecue, Synergenx, Testosterone and Weight Loss, and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. Your front row seat to the backstage action, live from New Orleans, is 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Do you ever scroll through social media only to find yourself bombarded by bad news, hot takes, picture-perfect families, and yet another humbling professional update? It's hard not to get wrapped up in how everyone else is doing, but imagine how you would feel if you spent 45 minutes focused on how you are doing. At Cerebral, they make it easier than ever to access dedicated therapists and doctor-prescribed medication personalized to you. The best part, Cerebral offers in-network care so you can focus on feeling better without worrying about the cost. In fact, 72% of people say they felt better in just 12 weeks. Cerebral makes mental health care easy, accessible, and more affordable. Cerebral is proud to be an official sponsor of the San Antonio Spurs, and just like athletes prioritize their physical health, mental health is just as important, and Cerebral is here to help you build a strong foundation on your overall well-being. Take that first step today. Go to Cerebral.com to see how affordable and accessible mental health care can be with insurance. Cerebral, make time for Mind Time.
Time is up. The IRS is in full collection mode for 2024, issuing liens, levies, and garnishments to anyone who has a past tax debt or unfiled tax returns. Don't wait till it's too late. Your paycheck and bank accounts are at risk of being seized. Call now and stop the collection process today. If you're living check to check, no matter how much you're making, you still may qualify for the Fresh Start programs offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. It's just a 5-minute call to get your options, and it's free. If you owe back taxes, have years of unfiled tax returns, under audit, have a wage or bank levy, or finally just want to sleep better, business or personal, call the experts at Republic Tax Relief while there's still time. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and tough. This veteran-owned company has the fight you need to take on the IRS. Don't go at it alone. The call is free. Call their hotline number now, 800-298-6544. That's 800-298-6544. Find out if you qualify today. Call 800-298-6544 or go to republictaxrelief.com.
Hey guys, Jason Minix here from the Blitz. Does it feel like you're lacking energy, always moody, or you know your libido isn't what it used to be? It could be caused by low testosterone. Go get tested. I recommend the providers at Synergenx Testosterone and Weight Loss. Their personalized TRT goes beyond standard treatments. They also have affordable GLP-1 weight loss options. And for current patients, Synergenx offers a $150 referral credit. Get started. Book your appointment at synergenxhealth.com. SYNERGENX health.com.
Flight by Yuengling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Jackson Hewitt makes taxes feel like a yacht rock song.
Please, give me my biggest tax refund, please. You, me, and a lifetime accuracy guarantee.
And now get $100 just to try Jackson Hewitt. Does your tax person do that?
Say goodbye to that no guarantee tax guy.
Ready to sail through tax season? Go to Jackson Hewitt and you'll be
Reeling in the refund.
limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
Davis Law Firm secures important verdicts and settlements for Texans hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck. Many in the millions of dollars. No case is too big or too small. And remember, there's no fee unless we win. So if you want more, call the Fours. Davis Law Firm San Antonio, 444-4444.
It's football season, and now you can get anything you need for game day delivered with Uber Eats. Well, almost anything. You can't get a running back, but baby back ribs? Yes. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL.
Are you recently single and realizing it's been a while since you focused on yourself? Time to get back in the game with M-Sculpt NEO at Dr. Connie Hyers Plastic Surgery and Med Spa. Burn fat, build muscle, and boost your confidence. 210-494-8446 or findyourbeautiful.com.
This is exactly where we want to be.
Live from the AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row in New Orleans with coverage leading up to Sunday's big game. It's The Blitz with Jason Minix and Joe Reinagle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. Our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage wrapping up momentarily in about, 17 minutes or so.
Wow.
And then we're off to the Madden party tonight.
It went by really fast. It always does when we get out here, Radio Row, man. It just flies by. What a great week it's been, though. It's been fantastic.
Fantastic week for sure. Want to thank our great sponsors, Flight by Yuengling, and, of course, they also have the game coverage on a Sunday. Circa Las Vegas, Synergenx, testosterone and weight loss, Smokey Mo's Barbecue, and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. So much going on with those guys.
Oh, absolutely. And we couldn't do it without them. So support all of those fine sponsors, please.
Absolutely. You want to do that. And Smokey Mo's Barbecue, if you're not doing the grilling yourself, let them do the barbecue. They do a fantastic job. And they've got some great specials for the big game. So make sure you take care of that and get in there and see it. And porkrinds.com, because it's Pork Rind Appreciation Day. So you look at Pork Rind Appreciation Day. You could have pork rinds part of your deal, but also porkrinds.com, you can win tickets to next year's Super Bowl.
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So, yeah, you guys got a lot of homework to do. So go get it done.
Go get it done.
Go get it done.
Go get it done. Who's winning the Super Bowl?
Well, our poll on our YouTube page has the Chiefs. 55% to 45%. So it is mixed. That's for sure. It is mixed. So
I'm just hoping it's a good game in that regards. I mean, because really, I want to see history with Kansas City winning 3 in a row. We've never seen it before. But quite frankly, I thought the last Super Bowl that they played, which started this three-peat try for Kansas City, the Eagles should have won that game.
They should have.
The Eagles should have won that game. Stop me if you've heard this before, but there was a questionable call.
Oh, my.
That went against Philadelphia.
Wow.
And
that never happens.
It never happens. And of course, that's a story of this one. So, when you look at it, you think about it, you kind of roll those dice, you just wonder. I do agree with almost everybody who has said Philadelphia has the better overall roster, but it's Patrick Mahomes, and the Chiefs has been there. And if I'm looking at coaching, I'm going Andy Reid.
Well, absolutely. You have to. I mean, in those two areas, you have to figure. I mean, the Chiefs have a massive advantage, coaching and quarterback. There's no question about that. But I agree from top to bottom, the Philadelphia Eagles are a better team. They just are. And, it's going to be very difficult, I think, a three-peat. Is there pressure on Kansas City? Will there be any pressure? Will they fold to it? How will the calls go? Will there be some questionable calls? All of those things you got to take into consideration when you're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs. And then, not to mention the fact that Patrick Mahomes is a wizard. The guy can do things that other quarterbacks just can't do.
Well, and again, and that's what you hope for. What I really do, a couple of things that I really want to see Sunday. One, a good football game. I don't want a blowout.
Right.
And part of me feels like if Philly is going to win, they're going to have to blow them out. Very similar to what we saw in the NFC Championship game. They just turned on all the lights in this place.
They did, man. It just got really bright in here.
A lot
all
of times,
a sudden.
You could be at a big old convention center like this, and it's getting late, and all of a sudden, all the lights go out. But I've never seen all these lights turn on, and it's bizarre in here. Squirrel, as people have finished their shows, everybody's breaking down their sets and everything that they're doing. Like the Pro Football Talk set is gone. There's all these crane things that are going on, and then you go, okay, well, as long as nothing falls this way, we're in good shape. But it's amazing how quickly things can change, which is bizarre. But going back, I think the only way it's a blowout is Philly does a blowout. Kansas, if it's a close game, you know damn well Kansas City's going to win. you just know it. I mean, the idea of Philly driving down and kicking a game-winning field goal, that's not going to happen. They might kick a field goal and miss because that's what seems to always happen when the Kansas City Chiefs are involved.
Boy, that is the X factor, isn't it? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm taking Philadelphia to win this game. I don't want to.
All right, hang on. Time out. Pledge wants to play the sound effects.
Oh, he does? Okay, sorry.
Prime Picks on the Blitz.
All right, Joe, finish your thought.
All right.
Timeout over.
Yeah, thanks, Pledge. I think Philly's got the better team from top to bottom. I know all the X factors we've talked about, and I think you could really flip a coin on this thing. But I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they're going to win this game. They're going to win a close game. I don't think they blow Kansas City out. It's impossible, and they get it done. Philly is your Super Bowl champion that you're going to have to suck on that all year, Minix. As Jerry would say.
Throw up in my mouth a little. Good Lord. No, I'm taking the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Chiefs. I mean, ever since we knew it was Philly and Washington in the NFC Championship game, my heart says I'm going AFC in this one. But honestly, I'm not. I want to see history. And if Buffalo had somehow made it, I might have gone the other way. But honestly, it's Patrick Mahomes. And there's one thing about that team that I don't think the pressure of the three-peat will get to him. I just think there's something about the mental makeup of that team won't allow that to happen. Pledgy?
Well, for me, it boils down to a couple of things. The better quarterback, the better coach are on the Kansas City Chiefs, and defensively, they're pretty even. But that defense, that defensive coordinator, Spagnuolo, they've been there. They know what to do. The Eagles, they have two rookies playing key roles in the secondary, and Quinion Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. The great white hope. And there's only a couple of quarterbacks that have ever gotten over on Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. Tom Brady's done it twice in an AFC championship and a Super Bowl, and Joe Burrow has done it, and neither of those guys are playing this weekend.
Well, and you look at like Cooper.
So you're taking the Chiefs.
I'm taking the Chiefs.
But he's also a Chiefs fan.
Till dethroned.
I know he says he's a Texan fan, but he's really a Chiefs fan. The text messages stuff that he wanted us to get him at the gift shop was all Chiefs related. He says for his friend.
Yeah.
I've known
for my
James
friend
a long time, and he's got his imaginary friend who is the Chiefs fan that happens to wear the exact same size as James Pledger. It's amazing how that works.
Interesting how that works.
His imaginary friend. No, but in all seriousness, I mean, and Cooper DeJean is great. I remember when Cooper DeJean was in the All-American Bowl. I mean, that kid is a stud, but it's a rookie, and it's the Super Bowl, and it's Patrick Mahomes on the other side. And what Kansas City does in winning all these close games is that one mistake that you make, they capitalize on it. And I think that happens again on Sunday.
Just don't leave Mahomes any time. Although he doesn't need much time, as Josh Allen found out one time, right? That's the key to me. I mean, it honestly is. But I just think overall, for everything Pledge said, he's absolutely right. Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Spagnuolo, all of those guys are fantastic. But I just think there's something tells me, my gut tells me that Philadelphia gets over and they knock off Kansas City and they don't get the three-peat, and that will continue on.
What I want to know after Kansas City wins, and was it Peter King that was doing the deal with Andy Reid, and we found out what they call that play, corn dog or whatever? Yeah. Being in New Orleans, or, is Andy's play sheet, that big old menu, does it got something called like shrimp and grits? Is it gumbo? Is it red beans and rice? Is it, oysters? I just hope that he has finagled his play call sheet to the menu of New Orleans.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, why not? And he'll have something. You give Andy Reid 2 weeks to prepare, he'll come up with a couple of new things. We had several guests right here on Radio Row tell us that they do things on the fly. So and put in new formations and new plays a day before a game in many instances. So they can do that. They're capable of doing it, and they're scary. And if Kansas City wins, it's not going to be any surprise, obviously. Something tells me this is Philly's year.
Had Touffet for the win.
I got an obscene gesture there from RJ Ochoa picking the Philadelphia Eagles.
Fly, birds, fly.
It was an obscene gesture.
Fly, birds, fly. Birds up.
Well, I tell you what, I want a good game first and foremost, and if that happens, whoever wins is who wins, and I'm good with that. I just want a good game. Good Super Bowl all the way down to the wire.
Matt Roy wants in on the action from News 4. He just texted me and says 23-20 Chiefs.
23-20 Chiefs. I could see that. See, I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game either. I know a lot of people do. I don't see this as a high-scoring game. I think the Eagles are going to try and run the football, obviously, because that's their strength, and keep Patrick Mahomes on the sidelines. And I think he'll be able to have some success doing that. And
dude, we just had Fly Eagles Fly. There's a bunch of birds that just flew in the building. They must open a door over there.
See, the Eagles are taking over now.
Those are pigeons, man.
Oh, well, they're related.
In what way?
They're in the bird family.
Good Lord. It's been a long week. We got a great night in store here in New Orleans. We're going to the Madden party. It features Chris Stapleton, Jelly Roll, Shabuzi, Trombone Shorty. Make sure you're following on socials, probably Instagram tonight at SA Sports Star, at Joe Reinagle 210, at Jason Minix. The game Sunday, if you're driving around, Kevin Harlan will have the call on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star, brought to you by Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. Again, want to thank all our sponsors, AA Best Bail Bonds, Flight, Circa Las Vegas, Synergenx Smokey Mo's, and Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. Enjoy your Pork Rind Appreciation Day this coming Sunday. It's going to be fantastic. We are out. Extra innings with Pledge coming up on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.